like a house trap.
Now let me tell you about my love. I got that comeback, you done call my eye love. Get rich or die trying love. Harlem nights, I ain't coming home tonight, love. I got that bedroom boom, but you say I'm just a friend. Since
Mayday. Copy that, hip-hop being overthrown. Tweet. Yeah, Bird went crazy on the beat. What up, Dream Team? What up? Yeah. You hear that? You hear that? Yeah. And the bass up. Watch this. Picture me rolling like a Cadillac. Rolling down the block so smooth. Yeah, Texas nigga, I be fucking Texas niggas. We always do that shit because we so cool. Like a penguin pussy, nigga, yeah, that's cold shit. Is a pig's pussy pink? Yeah, I think so. I done said P 6 times already. I ain't even have to flush the fucking toilet bowl. Hey, I've been outside since the first blade of grass ever peeked up out the ground out the dirty mud. And then most of these new rappers say I don't give a fuck like they tough. Me, I don't give a fuck. Glad my G's weren't around. We all draped up and dripped out in red, nigga, really blood. But we gon' make you do something about it. Them wolf tickets getting cash, no puppy love. And I really would not put no stock in the social media fabricated little plots. Cause if you pay attention, you would see that they is quiet than a mouse when I'm around. These motherfuckers don't talk. Just pay attention to the expression upon their faces. I'm a lot. You can counterfeit anything nowadays, but authenticity remains the same. You cannot. Now remember the exact spot. Rumble music took off. Not the Migos' fault. R.I.P. take off. I will never knock another nigga hustle. Just swap a few out and bring us back to Park. Mayday. Calling all squad, it's fast forward, this is the distress call. Copy that, hip-hop being overrun. Copy that, we're sending Jada kids. Where's KRS? Now we're activating Eric B and Rakim and telling Ice Cube to get the AK. We're activating Ice Cube. Well, I'ma bring him hell until my heart stops and tell my kids that I love them. I went down swinging, saving hip-hop. KRS, where's KRS-One? Yeah, we could really use KRS-One. Goddamn it, Fat Flo, you're telling yourself. And from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, there is no doubting that you're dealing with the USMC. U for underrated, S for stick 'em up. M for motherfuckers, C for cut 'em up. Yeah, a devil dog, I'm creeping through the fog just like the doggy dog on the west coast did, you know it's right. I'm here for hip-hop, put your hands in the sky. With my storylines, someone tell them to write. Get the microphone, if they is sloppy tonight. I ain't taking this no more, I'm finna fight. I know just what I'm here for, I know just why I landed. I guess I'm really supposed to save these beats, the Anunnaki planned it. This shit ain't personal, it's business, so I'm really numb. Zulu in my blood, so when the morning comes, you wake me up with drum. As soon as I hear the sound, I'm up in the instant. I don't need no time, I'm waking up with guns, I'm giving haters some. Let the blood run, blood run. Fire at will. Tweet. We ain't standing up for all, we finna take the streets. Hip-hop is in a state of emergency, but not me. As long as I'm breathing this breath I got, I'm finna take this Glock and rock until I represent and save hip-hop. Mayday. Copy that, hip-hop being
Yes, sir, man. Man, we back. It's, this chopping it up with Hawk Life. And today one of them episodes well, if you've been paying attention, if you know the background, you know the history, you know that this moment right here is the most important part of that history. Before we get into anything else, is getting this situation resolved. Hold on. Okay. Getting this situation resolved and fixed. Right now, I'm gonna let you know you chopping up with Hawk Life. And I got two guests in the building. I got Chief OIZ and Lyric Loud Mob in the building. Now, let me throw a disclaimer out. Let me throw a disclaimer out. I've been saying it all year, and I'm gonna say it again. The whole point of my platform is unity. That one word. So if you don't like it, you don't like who on here, you don't like who coming through here, you beefing with somebody, that's not my problem. At the end of the day, is either you fuck with chop it up or you don't. Period, point blank, period. I don't got nothing to do with nobody's personal issues. Who they don't like, who they is gonna like, that ain't my problem. At the end of the day, unless it got to the point, well, it still ain't my problem really. But if it gets to the point where it's disrespectful and people, children, and family, I prefer they did not get brought over here. I prefer you keep that off the internet. That means that point is not internet. So I mean, if it's still on the internet, I can't take it serious. I mean, if you on the internet beefing with a nigga about something that should be street, I can't take it serious. That's all I'm saying. That's all my disclaimers that I put out there. Now, with that being said, I know a lot of people watching, a lot of people kind of shook, a lot of people like, okay, this was going on, this was going on, that was going on. Basically, what happened? Let me break it down, some things down first. All right, this what happened. Get everybody the back check. It's been a while. All right, it was a big public blowout between Live Mob and myself, and I feel like the best way to what's the word, come to a conclusion would have been that we spoke all cam, but I damn how that happened. We spoke all cam, but I feel as though that the only way to solidify this is to do it on cam. So first and foremost, what happened was a situation where it really was a lot of miscommunication and the wrong communication. When I say that, it's not what you said, it's how you say it. So when I say that, that's what I meant. Um, as far as my actions in the situation, now let me break everything down. So what happened was at the time I was going through some personal shit. Right, I had my little nephews of gun violence in the streets, kind of fresh, kind of early, but at the same time, I wasn't 100% mentally there, but I was physically in the building every week. It didn't matter what I had going on. Personally, I still was there on time, make sure shit was popping, make sure doing what I have to do as the boss, the basically the person that's the head of the head, basically doing, trying to do, making sure the operation is basically running the way it need to be run, right? Um, I will say this: I've never, and this is on the record, I've never had an issue with Chifa in his part of what he was doing with Battle Rap Kingdom. Never. He always showed up on time. Always made sure his people in. If he didn't need to be there at that particular time, he had a right to do that. So that was never an issue. Um, with the lyric situation was I was kind of frustrated because I been had gave him my content. Now I don't know what was going on with the other people that was supposed to be a part of what we had going on, basically, which was an own waves situation at the time, right? That was his division, own waves, right? And for some reason or another, what he was saying was going on was conflicting with what other people were saying was going on. Basically, he was saying that people wasn't reaching out to him, and then they were saying the same thing, vice versa. So it's like me as the boss, I gotta be neutral, friend, enemy, partner, cousin, brother, sister. I'm not a fucking yes man. I'm gonna come to you in the way I'm gonna come to you. Now, I took responsibility is the way I came. Maybe I was a little over aggressive. Maybe I was a little slide. I don't feel like I was disrespectful in the first encounter. I feel like I probably was a little over. I'm from North. We are aggressive any fucking way. So our tone would make a person think we're being, but you would have to be down here to understand. You would be like, what? If you be down here long enough, you be like, that nigga was never being disrespectful with all these motherfuckers like this. Literally. Because we have to be hard. You know what I'm saying? And the whole miscrewed and the misunderstanding came about is because I didn't like the way I was being talked to, as well as I wasn't realizing the way that I probably was coming out or projecting. That shit happens when you're in a heated conversation. It's like sometimes a lot of people don't want to be corrected, even if it's a situation where they correct, even a situation they ain't wrong. Sometimes you gotta take the criticism on the chin and move. Everybody don't move like that. People gonna say how they feel and feel how they mean. That's just what it is. But it's the way you say it and how you say it. Cause like my initial approach was, I feel like, was very respectful, and what I got back was a lot of disrespect. And yeah, so it's like I just was matching the energy in that moment. So at the same time, let me clarify some shit, because I didn't. One thing I'm gonna clarify is me not allowing them to come on the platform and speak for themselves. Let me explain why I did that. I did that because the conversation behind the scenes blew up so much that I was like, you know what? The timing is not right. Let me say what I gotta say, because that was another thing in that time for me. I felt like shit that I was trying to say that either niggas wasn't respecting it or they wasn't hearing it. So it's like, can I let me get my shit off? Maybe motherfucker hear me, shit cool down. Then we can go back to the table if it's possible. Or shit don't, but you gotta understand, I've been doing this shit for going on 5 years. I've never made a wrong move ever. Everything I do is intentional in some way or the other. So let me say that. It was not to spite them or to quiet them. Let me clarify that. It was particularly for that reason, to keep shit from going way left field. I don't give a shit about people talking shit back and forth on the internet. I don't give a fuck about motherfuckers taking pictures of highway signs. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't mean nothing to blood spill. That's what it is to me. Like, real shit. Real niggas understand that. You know what I mean? Shit into blood spill. Anything could be fixed until blood spill. Period. The only street niggas understand that. Once blood on the pavement, it's a whole different situation. Right? So, but that was the case of that. So no, it wasn't to quiet nobody. It was, I let y'all say what y'all had to say. Shit getting out of control. Now I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and y'all gonna either embrace it or go y'all separate ways. And their response to that was, I quit, and out of loyalty, the other brother quit. Right? Cool. That, so I'm like, okay, this where we going with it. Okay, cool. Which is understandable. I understand loyalty. I'm not saying my loyalty to some motherfuckers could be blind to sting. My loyalty to motherfuckers can be right up the alley it need to be. But the one thing I've never been, like I said, and I reiterate that, is a yes man. I'm gonna tell it how it is, whether you like it or not. Sometimes people need to hear that tough love. Just because you love them, motherfucker, don't mean you don't gotta tell it to them right. You gotta tell it to them right, because motherfuckers will stay out here and be lost. You know what I'm saying? I ain't that type of character, so I'm just who I am when I am who I am. Now, fast, gonna live forward, because I won't get y'all the whole background. Then we're gonna let these brothers speak, but then we gonna let y'all know what we went from there was the final conclusion. But as I keep going down this rabbit hole, I will say this. This is why I start to take accountability in a lot of shit, out of spite, a lot of shit that I've done. I can't. I'm not apologizing for nobody else. I'm not apologizing for reacting to what nobody said. I'm apologizing for the things that I said that went too far, or the actions that I took that went too far. I'm not going to apologize. You know what I'm saying? I'm not apologizing for saying how I feel, because you can't. I feel like somebody can't do a person something then expect them to react the way they want them to react. Not gonna do that. I'm not apologizing for the reaction, but I will apologize for the overreaction for situations like, um, for example, Lyric told me some shit in private, and I spoke on that which I shouldn't have. But in that moment, hurt people. Cause he took something I said and construed it into I was saying fuck his people. And that wasn't the case. Literally the case was you going through something, I'm going through something, but I'm showing up and I'm making it happen. You know what I'm saying? And my aggression in that moment, because already I was in the don't give a fuck mode anyway. Then on top of that, shit wasn't going how it was supposed to be going, and it was affecting what the bottom line was, right? I had a window. I have my own invisible window. Let me break this down. I had my own invisible window when I wasn't the GM, but I had this invisible window of when I think the first battle would drop or when you know what I'm saying? But I do understand the lack of communication, but that goes both ways. Because if they're saying this and you're saying it, that means it's a problem both ways. But I do understand because I've done this shit by myself and people don't answer, they don't respond back. They come back for 5 days later and act like they didn't never know what was going on. Da 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 da. So all that's understandable. That's when conversation come in. That's my point of saying it's not what you say, it's how you say. So when I make the correction, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, but you don't have to add disrespect into it. That's where it goes left field because it's not necessary. That's why I tell people accountability and being aware, self-aware, makes every logic. But anyhow, that
Anyhow,
situation
that
it
situation,
kept going,
it
back and
kept
forth. I don't
going
know.
back
Me,
and forth.
that's
I don't
probably
know. Me, it's
it
probably
kept going back and forth. You probably got to turn the mic down. So it kept going back and forth, and it got to the point I had a battle with Chifa. Now, like I said, my issue with Chifa was it was a week within the battle. Week of I mean not a week into the battle, a week into my nephew's death, and he decided to use that as a line in that battle. I felt it to be very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. And his response to that was he did that because I said something about lyrics people. Right? That was his response to that. The reason he did that. Now, the other day, yesterday, he told me it was just for the battle, but that wasn't his response then. His response then was he did that because of the lyric situation. Now, at this point now, in my mental, it's cool. But at that point, it was too soon. Way too soon. Again, I'm not gonna apologize to about how I reacted because I was right to react in that manner. Because the situation I had with Lyric was with Lyric. I've never spoke on any situation with Chief, any of his people, none of that. But I understand a battle is a battle. I understand battle rap, but at the same time, too soon. Um, Past that, um, like I said, with the lyric shit, it's just a lot of back and forth, a lot of back and forth, a lot of petty shit, a lot of this and that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. My folks gonna do this, they gonna do that. And like I said in the private conversation, honestly, and I say this in the private conversation, like at this point, it was a lot of petty shit. At this point, that's not what I went into 2025 with, and I made it clear in the beginning of 2025 that I was going in with unity. I'm not about to get into it with nobody. I'm not about to go through that. If you own a train, be on the train. If you off the train, be off the train. I don't have time for flip floppers. Every time shit don't go your way, you want to jump off the train, or you want no. That's not how it work. If you fuck with a nigga, fuck with a nigga. We been around each other three,
we've been
4 years.
around.
We should be able to hash out the shit that's going on and keep it pushing. That's what loyalty and all that friendship shit come about. But that was my point. And we talked about this all stream. Don't get it twisted. Nothing I'm saying we ain't talked about all stream, but just besides the stuff with Chief, because I really didn't want to dwell on it because it was a situation where it was a battle for real. It's really not that deep, but it was like, damn, you hit me below the belt for a win. Because like it was like that. It was more of a shock more than a like the fuck? You know what I'm saying? More than I want to fuck him up. It was more of a shock. Like, I can't believe you went personal on me. And I never said nothing personal besides your white boy, which is obvious. So I don't really think that's personal. Now, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like I said with the battle. Like I said, the thing with me that frustrates me about this dynamic, this brotherhood dynamic that they got, is the dynamic of holding each other accountable. And I get it. I got motherfuckers I fuck with. If they do some shit, I'ma ride with them right or wrong. But behind the scenes, I'ma let them know. You know you could have handled that better. You know you could have moved in a different manner. Woo to woo. But on the surface, if we in combat, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I can't say what motherfuckers didn't do behind the scenes. I'm just saying me. I don't want to take that in the wrong way. Um,
So, no, I was just saying.
oh,
Oh, you go
oh,
ahead. I thought you was finished. I was gonna add to your timeline on the timeline,
hold on. I go.
but
So, so like I said, I reached out to you, and I think you gotta turn your mic down, some chief. I reached out to him, and cause your shit echoing. I reached out to him. I said, what I said, I let him know I took accountability for my shit. You know what I'm saying? And I also made it known that it's accountability that need to be taken on both sides. And we do have some shit that's in the works, but like I said, it can't happen without this happening first, because I can't work with people and have this tension or this shit on the back end, because all it's gonna do is bring the shit back up. Somebody gonna do something, somebody don't like it, and it's, oh motherfucker, remember when you did, or remember when da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, I know, because I go through this shit in real life with people. People don't realize I'm an Aries. We might not say shit 3, 4, 5 days. We might say the shit a month down the line, but you think a nigga forgot? No, that's how I operate. So the best part is to get that shit off and see what I gotta say. But with that being said, and I also said this in private. I started this in 2020. Majority of this shit you see on my platform, I've done. Um, Kudos to Chief for the sports podcast. That was his idea. That wasn't mine. That was his. Only thing I did from it was take and change the name. I feel like calling it type shit was harder than what it was. I didn't do much of his format. I did kind of my own thing. I did that one episode and that was it. Um, it just wasn't the same feel. So I didn't continue on with it. Um, from that era. And we spoke about that off camera with the, like I said, with the loudmouth situation. Understand, um, when it comes to shit like verses underground, when it comes to shit like um especially versus underground, they were an intricate part. This was something that we planned as a unit. It may have been something I thought of, but we executed as a unit. So you gotta understand, when that happens, they mean the creative is a joint creative. I would never take that credit, but I would never at the same time let nobody feel like they made me. I was me before you met me. Just like y'all was y'all before I met y'all. At the end of the day. So to kill that narrative. Another thing, another thing I didn't like is, and I spoke on this, and actually I'm gonna let them go get this stuff, and then I'm gonna say what they gotta say, and I'm bring that back to the table. In a minute. I just want them to be able to say what they gotta say. So
I was just going mine short, so I was going to tap in on mine because it's real short. Because you're you know what I mean, lyric and y'all was bigger. All right. Far as going in order, there was a time where Lyric said he was taking a break to do music. That's facts, right? And he said he was going to be leaving the podcast. The only reason why I left is facts. I said part of it is loyalty to my brother, but part of it was a decision that I was like, okay, football's over. I don't really like the basketball part of it, and you know what I mean. I was about to get on the game and shit, and the whole thing was to start moving the game and shit low key, and that's something nobody really knows. But to explain my point and to have my credibility, that's what I was talking about next, because I was like, yo, I'm gonna start the game and shit, and I'm gonna back off for a second. We'll go on the game and shit, and then I said you can do the basketball by yourself, and
battle rap.
Yeah, but I'm saying this is just like leading up to just covering like little parts. I was like, okay, our perspective's different on that. That wasn't just a loyalty thing. It was different moves, like you said. It was some of it was that, but some of it wasn't. But all right, so we get to the battle line. So before that, there was things where it was like credibility, right? And in the bars, we're talking about the rap itself, and we're seeing why it brought up. Before that, it was like you ain't street, you ain't this, you ain't that, you ain't that, and I brought it up in reference to why are we even battling when shit like that's happening. It wasn't a reference like disrespecting your nephew or just coming at his character, just a straight up bar of like why you ain't sliding. I'm just bringing up reference, and I'm not trying to bring any like that's what was happening or having, but that's what instead of beating around the bush, that was what was said, and that without bringing up the whole bar, and then, you know what I mean. But yeah, it got a little personal in the first round, but it was never on some like yeah, I was like, hey, it should be cool because you said what you said about his people on the podcast. So why was it's a battle? I didn't do it personally. I didn't just slander for no reason. I didn't, you know what I mean? We was battling. And I feel like as a battler, when you have things that are red targets, that's already a red flag. When you going into battle, you should know that that will be ammo. It's already in the gun. So, I mean, if I felt like, boom, I'm going to pull it too. If you're using all your ammo, why do I have to hold back on mine? That's all how I felt at the time, as well as I'm standing on my brother's side as well. Because you say, hey, if he could take it, you could take it. No homo, pause, no diddy. And we're not even going to joke about that. But still, at the same time, that's how I felt at that time. Looking back, yeah, I could have been a little bit like, hey, I could have held one back. You know what I mean? You mean we were cooler than that. But at the time, I'm like, hey, you don't fuck with my brother. And I said that since day one. But everyone's always testing me for pigment. You know what I mean? And y'all should understand that in this case that y'all in. But we're not even going to go through that. It could be another topic for the hot seat or whatever. Not throwing no shade. But, you know what I mean? Other than that, it was strictly just bars. After that, you got on the platform with other people that we were beefing with and was talking wow. So I was like, okay, since we're doing that, I'm dropping disses. Like, cool, you gonna do your way of getting back, which was cool. I ain't even gonna be mad. It's part of the game, it's part of the content, it's part of like we all creators at the end of the day. But I had to do my way too, you know what I mean? So I was like, cool, I'm just gonna do my little disses and you know what I mean? At the end of the day, that be that. Now, other than
Yeah.
that, that's more you and bros beef after that.
I want to say like yeah. There was a time where yeah we was taking a break because if I remember correctly, the last kind of encounter about a versus or anything, the next event that was coming up about a versus was with OSG. We planned that for August. So it was good for us anyway to take that break and focus on our craft. And I had talked about that. Not
Actually, I
just
turned
that.
it down. I
Um,
turned it
so
down.
what?
I turned it down.
You turned what down?
The OSG
Well,
verse.
yeah, no. Well, I mean, we turned it down too. OSG turned it
Man,
down as
y'all turned
well
it down.
because
No, OSG wanted to
OSG
do it. Y'all
said
turned it
they
down.
said that they didn't want to do it because of everything that was going on between Gorilla Mob and everything else, and we agreed as well because we felt like, because if you don't remember, you was there, we was there as well, and us and OSG agreed that we didn't want everything to be looking like it was like a beef type shit that was going on because that's not what it was. We wanted it to be like where it was like a group versus a group thing. So it never happened. It never even happened. We turned it down. After that, we started focusing on our craft and everything. Now with the own wax, whatever, the problem wasn't me. The problem was the people that already was scheduled for the battlers. Their opponent was the problem. They wasn't showing up. That was the whole thing that was going on then was the fact that people wasn't showing up. And for as the own wax division, I couldn't never kick off one episode of things going on because of their opponents. Their opponents just wasn't showing up because everyone had family members that was passing away around that time. Everyone had family members that was like, it was a sad year for that year. Lastly, me and you had family members that passed away as well, you know? So we wanted to take a break all the way around. Other than that, whatever, you gotta keep in mind, I'm still going to work, doing music, doing everything else, still being there for the podcast. And I work nights. I work third shift. I was always usually the last person that was still on the platform, still talking to people while I was going to work. And a lot can vouch for that. You know what I mean? But regardless of that fact, you know what I mean, it's just a simple fact that like, I had a family member that was passing away. So I also had 4 kids that I also watch out from as well. I was being a father as well. you know. So my father duties also doing the things that I'm doing and also trying to, be there for everything else and stuff. Everything was heavy on me. Everything, it was a dark time for both of us, you know what I mean? Which I knew that. But at the same time, like I felt like if these individuals, I'm not going to say no name, whatever, these individuals could not show up because of the fact that they had deaths in their family or they had a loved one that passed away, whatever. I was going through my moment of where pretty much a loved one in my family was also passing away, and also some of the personal things that I was going encountering with, as far as my life and my situation, whatever, you know what I mean? Like I had to step back to figure out my own life, to evaluate my own life on things that was going on. Not just that, I had to do time. There was things that happened, that I should have took that step back, you know. And if I would have looked back now, and if I were to took that step back, I'm pretty sure a lot of things wouldn't have happened the way it did. You see what I'm saying? But that's on me. That's insight on me as far as my own life, as far as things that I learned, as far as like, choice. Life's about choices and decision in general. You see what I'm saying? So when we get up to the point of where I have a problem with you, like same thing I said was yeah, you called me a couple of times. Yeah, you did try to make right and everything else, but I was focusing on my life. Same way how you say like you from where you from where we're from. Me and bruh, like we don't always agree on a lot of things. A lot of people that personally know us knows that. There's things that, we're brothers. We're going to argue. Just like me and my blood brothers. We're going to argue. You see what I'm saying? That's life. We may not agree with a lot of things that we do, but it's a simple fact that, sometimes, when we have that downtime and we sit back and we look at like, you know what, that nigga probably was right. You know what I mean? Always try to keep my perspective open, always try to. So me thinking about everybody else, the fact that they have loved ones, they could not show up. And then, at the point of time, there's lives where also you had went live and was like, yo, people not showing up, this and that, whatever. Some of the names that you did mention, they had loved ones that passed away. So I'm like, yo, they couldn't be there. It's impossible. That's how I felt. It's impossible. I couldn't be there. I got to be at, the the fucking rehabilitation fucking hospice, all that other shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm going like countless nights, like not even sleeping at that, and still doing my thing. So yeah, I had to put it down. And I was glad that I focused on my craft because I found my peace. I was trying to find my peace through what life was giving me, with all the chaos and the madness that was going on, that was revolving around me, especially with the battle rap. With some people that used to show up to battle rap, they would spit their bars. They do. I used to battle rap. I'm not going to say I was the best of being a battle rapper. I was decent, but I only did it because my brother enjoyed. I grew up watching my brother battle rap, high school, middle school, you know what I mean? Tearing motherfuckers left and right and shit, you know what I mean? So for me, it's like, I'm living through his moment. I'm watching my brother doing something that he's good at. You know what I mean? I'm being there for him. Kind of like what you say with the loyalty thing. I didn't want to do it at first. I really didn't. But the only reason why I did was because I wanted to enjoy it. I wanted to see whether or not if this is something that I could develop a passion in. And if so, maybe I can go farther in. But once I start seeing things start going the way it's going, depending on the individual that they are, whatever, like how I said plenty of times, even on lives, there's lives where I said it as well. There's some things that should be out of music. And I still say that to this day. Street shit should be out of music. When we talk about family, when we talk about this, and that, whatever, you know what I mean? That should be out of music regardless. It should be out. It's not right. Period. You know what I mean? Everybody want to say, and this just in general, everybody want to say, what can we do to hip hop? What can we do to rap to end gun violence or to end this and end that? Maybe it's motherfuckers' mouths because you never know what type of time someone's on. I was on that time. So with me, it's just letting everybody know that it's principles. You can't just think like you can just throw somebody kids or throw somebody family members. You know what I mean? I'm in the wrong for what I said about your nephew. I agree with that. We all say things that sometimes we don't mean or we have to stand on it. Like I said, life is about choice and decision. But at the same time, you know what I mean? Like when we looking at the way how things occur, Life is also a sequence, and there's always trails of how things happen. We don't have to agree how things happen. We can always look back because a lot of it is published.
A lot of it is published.
You're right.
A lot of it
Now,
is published, and the funny thing, a lot of it is
with
published.
that being said, when I had a problem with you was when you went live on this one particular day and I was picking up my kids and you were saying like, oh, he did this and he did that, dog, whatever, you know what I mean? And you spoke on something that pretty much like I
And
felt
what,
like you shouldn't spoke that I feel like you shouldn't spoke about. You know what I
and
mean?
what was that? Like, for clarity, you know,
Oh, okay, all right. Well, that was pretty much like, oh, he's cutting himself, he died out, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
mhm,
and you didn't let us on the live. You didn't let us tell our half of the story. Then, yeah, we could have became cool. You see what I'm saying? So with all the other stuff, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't
that's
think it would have still. I don't think it would have been that way no way because of the way you was carrying yourself in that moment. See, people got to understand. People still got to understand that that's reason why I didn't put him on because it was super hella toxic. It was like it was like
you was
why
live, bro. I was in the
I
comment
was
section.
live, but I
So
didn't.
of
It's my
just
live.
like how you
I didn't
said,
have
you have
to.
to respect people's feelings, right? So my feelings at the time was yo, why this brother's not letting me on his live, telling my story, something that you saw, something that I can tell it better. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't need a narrator. There is no narrative to anything. It's my life. I can speak on my life. These are my shoes that I'm wearing. That's where I had a problem with. That's where most of the problem like basically occurred with me. You can't tell me where I had a problem with because I know myself better than anybody else know me. Now, secondly, you know what I mean? I felt like even still, if you were to let us on that live and shit, and we were to pretty much, you know what I mean, like talk it out and everything, I agree with you. It also was the time. It wasn't time.
Exactly.
Some things needed healing and shit. But at that point in time, I was already ready to talk.
But see,
Now,
that's the thing. You can't be ready to talk after you was hella disrespectful. You can't expect somebody to be like, "Oh, ooh, the woo," after you done did this. It doesn't work like that. And I keep replaying that back to people. You
I
can't
mean,
expect people to react. You can't do
that's
somebody
like a person
to
losing weight
react the way
with
you want
before and
them to
after pictures, bro. That's like person losing weight with before and after pictures. You see what I'm saying? Like,
react.
like
So we talk
sometimes, like
about business. This ain't a before
then
and
is
after.
then, now is now. And even then, like I said, you know what I mean? Like you don't really know how my thought process or what I was thinking even still.
And
You
vice
see what I'm
versa.
saying? So like if I really look at my craft and my music very seriously, what makes you think I don't look at my actions seriously?
I
You
don't,
see what I'm saying? So when we look
I don't,
at
I don't
personality
know.
or traits or characteristic as well, you know what I mean? Like sometimes, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna admit that I'm wrong. But unless I'm standing on principles, like I said before, it depends. It depends on how I handle certain situations.
It
Now
depends.
that situation, yeah, you know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, as far as me, individual my own, telling you how I felt and what was in my mind at that time. So you can take it as a joke, you can take it however you want to. I'm being sincere with it.
No, I don't take it as a joke. I
I
understand
hope
what
not.
you're
You
saying,
see what I'm
but
saying?
but at the same
So
time, I want you to understand that it doesn't go one way. You keep saying how I feel, how I was going, you got to understand there's two sides to a story. So that's my point of
yeah, I'm
view.
telling my side of it. You told your side of it.
Right,
So you
right.
told your side of the story. You see what I'm
While
saying?
also
I'm telling I'm
acknowledging
telling
that
I'm
you had,
telling my side of the story. I'm
also
telling when
acknowledging,
I thought for myself where pretty much things went wrong.
right,
If
right,
you're
right.
listening.
No, I'm
So
listening to everything.
that's what it was
I mean,
with
if
me.
you gonna let me talk,
Regardless
or
what
let me get my
happened
whole point out.
before that time, you see what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say? Like, yeah, the whole calling on the fucking Facebook and shut that whatever, and then we was talking about the whole thing. We had a meeting, whatever. No, we was still on good terms. That's pretty much what I'm saying. Everything else before then, it takes a little moment for me to say fuck something. You see what I'm saying? Or forget this. You see what I'm saying? It takes me a little moment for me to make sure I'm 100% all in. But what I'm saying is, when you went and you did that, that was the line crossed for me. Is basically what I'm saying. So me, an individual,
So
me,
a
like
line across was not letting y'all come on the live. Is what you saying? Saying what I
yeah,
said.
yeah, because you spoke on
This is
something
not
that
my
was
platform. So that means I have a right to who I want on and off, and you said it saying that, and you missing the point that the
I
time
think you're
was
missing a
right.
point.
No, I'm not.
Again, you went live and you spoke on something that happened in my life. It's what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah,
saying if you would have let us on,
I heard what you
I
said.
would have pretty much corrected it and be like, nah, bro, that's not
And
what
you
happened.
clearly
This,
said it
that, what up.
wasn't the
For
time.
me, it would have been a real brotherly moment.
It
Like,
wasn't
okay,
nothing to
cool.
it.
At least he let me tell my life, my story. You see what I'm saying? You is a content creator. So everything that you say pretty much, you know what I mean? Like the fans can look at it one side anyway. You see what I'm saying? Like you could persuade people, you can inspire people, you could do all these other things. You see what I'm trying to say?
But
But
you
it's
didn't
my
need my
life.
life to get up there to tell your story. And that's what I hate about people. People like to play the victim. You didn't need my life
But
to tell your
I'm
story.
not playing victim. What I'm
Hold on, let me
saying
finish.
is
You could have
this: you
got
didn't
on your
have to
own
go in
life.
there
Hold
and
on,
tell
hold
him
on,
what
hold
you
on.
saw as
You
well.
could have got
You
hold
didn't
on.
have to go in there as well
This
and
is
spoke
where it
about
comes to
something
being
that pretty
bad. But
much, you
I'm
know what I
not
mean,
gonna
that was entailed
count
to my
on
life. It's
people,
based
bro.
what I'm
I
saying.
don't like that.
That's all that I'm saying, bro.
But what I'm saying is you could have got on your own live. So to say that I didn't let you get on my live had nothing to do with it. You could have got on your own live and told your story. We got the same people, the same group of network of people. So it was no way you couldn't get it out. Now, as far as I said what I said, true enough in effect, I said what I said after y'all said fuck my nephew. That's when I said something
So,
about the low.
okay. But do
Let's
you
be for real,
remember?
but y'all kept that. You
Do
kept
you
it out
remember
y'all
you
conversation.
said that you was going to bring us on the live and we was going to talk about it then? So
No,
we were supposed to be on the live anyway. You can go back and watch it. I watched it plenty of
I
times.
don't know.
You see what I'm saying? So like we were supposed to be there anyway, and you went
No,
ahead and went live.
no, I didn't say
We
that.
was not there. It's the point that I'm also making as well. So regardless of the fact of that, I'm not even mad about that. You see what I'm saying? I didn't even bring that up. I'm not even mad about that. I'm just mad about,
Yeah, I just
or
wanted to
was
keep
mad at
going
the
back
time
to it.
about, was the simple fact that you went there and you use your content as this way. You see what I'm trying to say? So I felt like, yo, that was kind of like, that was some shady shit. That was fucked up. You see what I'm trying to say? That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
Now with the
that's
own
respectful.
wax,
That's
now with the
respectful.
own wax, huh?
I mean, your feelings is your feeling.
Right.
I'm not
Just
gonna
like
tell
what you
nobody
said.
their
That's how
feelings
you
is not
felt.
valid.
Yeah.
That's your feelings. I'm not negating
Right.
your feelings. Just to address, I guess he left, but just to address what Chief said. Chief said the only line he said was, um, you something about you battling da da da. That was not the only line he said in the battle. He also said pick up your nephew and some other shit. I don't give a damn what was said. You don't get in the battle, and especially not. We didn't have 6 battles, 6, 7. Not one of them have ever been personal. For you to good person to that extent was for a personal reason. It was never about a battle. You know what I'm saying? So to say it was about a battle, no, it was personal reasons, and I get the personal reasons. You still went too far.
Hey, look,
At the end
that's
of the
between
day,
you and bro.
oh,
You
I'm
know what
just
I
saying
mean?
that
Like you said at first that you had no
I address
problem
it.
with bro. You know what
Me
I mean?
on the
That's
live,
between
I'm gonna
that.
address it. Right, but let
I'm
me
I'm I'm
hold
I'm
on, let me
just
finish. You can't.
I'm just speaking on topic. I'm just
I know.
basically
Let me finish.
speaking from my side. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get it out. That's all.
Let
That
me
case you
finish.
got the floor again. I'm
I'm
just basically saying
just
that
let me
that's
finish
where
what I'm
things went
saying.
wrong
You just
at
cut me off.
with
Let me
me. That's all.
finish.
You know what I mean?
I hear you,
That's
but
it.
let me finish what I'm saying. I hate let me. I just want to address because he left, and I meant to address it before he left. Now, but
Okay.
what I'm saying is, at the time, it was bad time. I wouldn't have never if somebody really my partner. I don't give a fuck what's going on. I would have never spoke on that in the battle for no W. This wasn't about a battle. This was about something personal, and it took me a minute to understand. Not a minute, really. I understood it right when it happened, but at the same time, I was in a whole different mind state. Now, like I said, and I agree on, you had shit going on. I don't know nothing about other people having nothing going on. Because when I asked you, you told me people wasn't responding to you. Now it's other people had that in the family. I don't know. Like I said, I don't
I
know what's
said
going
that
on.
the people that is, bro, you
You
had a
told me
match.
people
You
wasn't
you had a
answering.
match on wax, right? You had a match. Do you
No,
remember who you was matching? Yes, you did. You had two battles
I
because
had
you picked up one for lyrics because the person that was for lyrics did not came on. One person said that they went on vacation, supposedly came
exactly.
back
That's what
after
I'm saying. It
January.
was never
Right,
nothing
okay,
about
right.
that.
And
It
he
was about
never
people
came
not
back. There was
answering.
another person that was supposed to now I'm gonna list the names and I bet you they can say it's true Maybe you forgot, but other than that, it was their
No, I'm telling you
opponents.
what you told
Their
me.
opponents never showed up. Their opponents never showed up. And the
And
people
you
that pretty
realize I went hit these same people up, and these same people were saying that you wasn't responding to them.
hey look,
See what I'm saying? That's why I'm
that's
telling you,
hey look,
I'm
that's
only
them,
the
bro.
middle person. It's like a tug of
That's
war. I'm a middle
that
person.
hey look,
I could be
look,
totally
that's them.
in that point.
That's them. If they said that, that is them. But you was in the chats. You was in the chats, just like how
And
you
nobody
said. You
wasn't
was in.
saying shit. That's the point of
I
me.
can put a chat. You
I'm
was in
talking
the
about
chats.
the last couple of days, nobody wasn't saying shit. So that was the point of me reaching out. Right? People gotta understand I'm the middleman. I'm the person in the middle. You got the
Okay.
gym over here, and then you
Oh,
got the
okay.
battle
Right.
over here.
That is true.
So,
But regardless of the fact, the people opponents was not showing up. That's why their battles could
exactly.
not be submitted.
Yeah, it
I've
wasn't
gotten your battles.
this wasn't showing
I've
up.
I've
I agree.
I've gotten your battles. I've gotten lyrics battles. I got a couple other people battle, and I even said like, "Yo, you was like drop the video." I was like, it wouldn't look right if I just dropped the video. We
I,
politicked on that,
I
and you
believe
agreed
it.
with me, and you was like, "Okay, all right, cool. What could we
Yeah.
do?" We came out with the freestyle division. After we came out with the freestyle division,
Now
it
we
was
had
hot upon a
freestyle
time.
division already. The freestyle division was
The freestyle division was the last one that came, and it was hot upon a time. We only did it towards the end of the
I know
podcast.
the freestyle division was Chief's division. That's the division
It
that's
was supposed to be Dub's division, and
who?
then and also it was Benji's division as well.
Who?
But people kept leaving. Yeah,
We
there was couple.
we
Yeah,
I
look
never
back,
made Benji a GM of no freestyle.
look back, bro. Look
I
back.
never made
Yeah,
Benji the GM of
yeah.
the
Look
freestyle
back. Look back.
unless it was after Chief was stepping down because Chief
Nah, he
the
stepped up
freestyle
after that
division was
because
first.
Chifa was like, yo, it's both the same thing. Why don't we just make it
Right. So
together?
that's what I'm saying. He
Right. So
already
that
had
was
freestyle.
after.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
we
It was
made
no
it.
need for a
So we
single
combined
freestyle.
it after that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
After we
saying.
combined it,
His actual division was freestyle anyway, so it was no need to have another freestyle
right,
division. That don't make
right.
sense.
So we
That's
all
why I
talked
say we
about
already
that
had
and we
it.
all agreed. And then after that, we combined it. Now, after that moment where we combined the shit, the on wax division was still not picking up. Was because we were trying to
He
get
had
people to
on
pretty much.
wax. He had freestyle.
He had the
Let's clarify that
freestyle.
so there's no confusion. They wasn't combined. You had on wax. He had freestyle. They was two different.
Okay, yeah, all right, cool. But the point I'm making is that after we combined it, whatever, the on wax was still not picking up. Was because we didn't have enough people to pretty much face the opponents. That's what happened. It wasn't like it was me or whatever. We were scouting, we was looking, and we couldn't find anything. Moments after that,
And I
we
said I don't
we
disagree with that.
urged we urged because of everything that was going on
Because
around
they had battles right.
everybody' life that we took a break.
That not that 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 part right
We
there.
took a break.
That part about the taking a break. Let me get on that. Let me get on that. When I did reach out to you about the on wax, it was 3 months after our first discussion, and you said you wasn't gonna drop it. That's why I came at you again 3 months later. This 3 months later, now this is a new year. When you first told me something about you having folks in hospital, they wasn't dying at that point.
That was way before then. That was
That's
way
what I'm
before then.
explaining. That's what I'm
That was
explaining.
way before then.
That was no. That was the first time I
That
told
was
you
no.
about
That
it.
was that
That
was
was in
way that
December.
was way before
Yo, listen, that was
anybody
in
had
December.
people that was passing away.
No, you told me you
Because
had
when the
somebody in the
first on
hospital. No, I
wax
didn't say
came out,
passed away.
whatever.
I said you had somebody in the hospital then. That was in
No, that was
December.
nope, nope,
Yeah.
nope,
Yeah,
because it was around December.
I'm
And
gonna
when we
tell you
come
who
out
it
with on
was.
wax was
I'm gonna
somewhere
tell you
around
who you
like
said
no,
it was. You said it was your wife, daddy, or stepdaddy. This was in December. Okay,
nah,
so
bro,
yeah, that's what you told me.
nah.
That's
That was
also,
way
I got
way.
a
That
text
was
message. I
that
also got
was
a text message. Now that was 3 months beforehand. We talked about that better than I asked you then when you was gonna drop. You were like, I don't know yet. Da, da, da. And I was saying you should. Boom. Then that's 3 months had them passed at that point. By the time we had the situation the second time and everything blew up left field, that's 3 months had them passed. Now at that point, like I said, the first thing to come out was the Battle Rap Kingdom Freestyle Fridays. That was the first thing to ever come out, and that's what Chief was running. Then it was supposed to be on wax. It would be the female division and such and such. Now I can agree that sometimes people, and I've saw this in the chat, people signed up for the battles, and I don't know if they didn't respond. I don't know what happened past
They
that. There
responded.
were battles locked.
There was
Now,
battles locked, and
now
they did
when I
not
went to reach
submit
out to
in their
people,
stuff.
right, and
And
when I
then
went to reach
some
out
people
to
was going
people,
on
they were
vacation,
saying,
and
right,
some people said that they had people passing away. That was way before me and you had anything like any friction. That was way before then. I even showed
the
you was
friction
in
was
the
the
chat.
second time.
You
I didn't say we had
acknowledged it.
friction the first time. The friction was the second time when I asked the second time. Now,
Regardless of the time it was,
regardless, what I'm
if
saying is you had your reason to why the shit wasn't getting done, and they had their reason to why it wasn't getting done. Their reason was you wasn't responding. Your reason was they wasn't responding. My whole thing is this: if a motherfucker do a crime and you say you ain't do it, and they say they don't do it, who the fuck you think the police gonna lock up? Both of y'all. That mean they gonna hold both of y'all accountable. They don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying?
technically you're supposed to investigate it, right? Because
They're
that's your
supposed to,
job
but
to
you
do,
know the
right? All
motherfuckers
right
don't
then.
investigate nothing.
So I did my job. I investigated. Everyone else did not
I'm
submit
not
in
talking
their
about you and
tracks.
your job. I'm saying y'all saying two different things, and I have to making a decision off of that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about you. Whatever you
Okay,
said you did, I got a good
that's
figure with a
that's
grain of
fine.
salt. You see what I'm saying?
That's
I can't
fine.
say you lying. I didn't say you lying. I got to take it
I
with a grain
didn't
of
say
salt.
I was
I'm
or
just
wasn't.
saying what was said on the other side. I'm not saying you lying. I
That's
take
that's
it with a
that's
grain of salt.
fine.
Keep it
I
metaphor.
can really like for me, that's what they said.
Right,
Fine. That's what they said. You know what I mean? But as far as like the truth of the matter is, you know what I mean? Like th- their opponents did not submit their videos. That's what happened. Their opponents did not submit their videos. I can't do nothing about that.
you know what you
That's
were
all I'm
saying?
saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to argue with you, nothing.
No, we
I'm
not.
just
We
saying.
having a productive
I'm just saying
conversation.
that. Look, bro, it sucks. It sucks. You know what I mean? Like their
Yeah.
opponents did not submit their videos. Everybody was waiting for their battle to come out. You know what I mean? Like I feel that, especially for me that takes music very seriously, and everybody knows that. I'm trying to go out where both of us was pretty much scouting around that time to try to find people battle. You took up a couple of those battles, and they even duck you as well. And you even was like, "That's a win for me," and whatever. And I was like, you know what? I agree. Until people start showing up,
Right.
nobody was showing up, and then
And I
eventually,
just like I said,
those that was trying to show up, they had loved ones that passed away. Was all I was saying. And
you
then later
know,
on, we had things that happened. Your nephew, and as far as a family member of mine, you know what I mean? Like then other things that came to play a part.
yeah.
After that, we
I
said
said people
words,
gotta,
which I can understand that because you lost one. I was on the verge of losing one. You see what I'm saying? So if you could think on two individual where their headspace is at, you know what I mean? Really trying to get things to work and things was just not working, you know what I mean? Yeah, that can create friction. I'm agreeing with you. That can. But at
yeah.
the same time, you know what I mean? Like where it went wrong with me, all that I'm saying is that I didn't agree with the life that you made. That's all I'm saying. That was the cross line for me.
You know what? I feel
That's
like
what did
that's
it for me.
cool.
You see what I'm
That's
saying?
cool. I
That's
guess.
it.
I mean, that's cool. Your feelings valid on that. Um, but once again, if you valid on that, I don't take no validation from your feelings. But at the end of the day, again, you can't treat a person a certain way and expect them to respond differently. That's one. Two, I feel like that was not the case as far as why y'all backed up, because it's been a track record with me and y'all, what y'all doing this before. We have a disagreement and then y'all leave. If I fuck, like, once again, if I fuck with somebody, even if we have a disagreement, it takes me more to stop fucking with a person than a motherfucker fucking me. It's so easy for a motherfucker, and this is a track record of shit, for motherfuckers to stop fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? And da 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 da. But I still sit there and go through the mud with other motherfuckers. This is a track record. So this something I seen for myself, even with the label. Shit didn't go the direction that I was trying to take was different.
What
We
label?
owners.
Be specific.
I'm gonna get to it. We label owners. And the dilemma was I believe y'all wanted me to focus on y'all as a start of the label. And in my head, I'm new to this shit, but I'm also going off of shit that I've been taught. That you never, if you running a label, you don't start with yourself, you start with other artists that's on there. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna take away from the bending hand. Now I don't know what happened, but they went the other way, signed with the people I left, had a situation with them, wound up coming back on some other shit, on some just some artist shit, da 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 da. There was one situation where it was a disagreement and then niggas went about their way. Then it was this situation, it was the same thing. So
Disagreement with
I
who?
do understand
I'm not following. I'm sorry. I'm confused.
the label shit when y'all
Oh,
left
you
the
talking
first
the
time.
you
Yeah.
talking black the black? Yeah, we
No,
ain't
no,
gonna
no,
say
no, no,
them
no.
names.
I'm talking about my
Nah.
brother's keeper when y'all
Oh,
left
your
the
brother's
first time.
keeper? No, man, that's
But what
nah.
I'm
Don't
saying is
okay.
what
That's underneath the
no,
water
it is,
for
but what
for
I'm
me.
saying is a track record of y'all just leaving. So when you
That's
say
not
you
even a
left,
track. Okay, all
it
right.
is
Well, I
because
mean,
that's
maybe
hard.
to you it's a
Yeah,
track record,
that was the first
whatever,
time,
fine.
and then
But at the
that's the,
same
this the
time,
second time. Hold on,
I
this is the
mean, at
second
the
time.
same
Hold on.
time, bro, like that's your label. We did music for you as well, and not just that. We had a distribution deal with Gorilla Mob. You see, here's the thing. Like,
Let
I
me
feel like when it comes to like certain moves or things that happens and stuff, like I feel like everybody else be trying to do too much, or everybody else is doing too little. You see what I'm saying? Like some people don't really think about like certain things what they doing. Like for instance, with Black Label, right? Like they shouldn't never did what they did to you. You spoke out in Black Label,
hmm
but yet you hold so grudge as far as like the way how everything happened, which I understand that if I was in your perspective.
exactly. Like it's
But
not
you
the
have
whole the
other
blood.
people that was
People
part of Black
understand the
Label that
history.
still to this day never spoke out about what happened. You see what I'm
If
saying?
we
Now,
understand,
when you have some people that is speaking out towards it, and that's like, yo, like for instance, you're telling like you're saying like, hey, this is where I feel. You know what I mean? I'm not pretty much like going to get caught up with your feelings, this that. Okay, cool. I respect that. But at the same time, like how you said, like there's two sides to every story, right? Okay,
that's
cool. But I'm on the point where it's like, all right, but tell it right. You see what I'm saying? Like, we can sit here and we can, tell it right. And then, like it's something that happened. It's legacy. It's history.
yeah, it's
But
history,
with
but I'm not gonna
with
act
my
like
brother's
it didn't
keeper happened after Mexico Shorty, and it also happened after so many other eras like Black Label, Gorilla Mob, and everything else and stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like,
exist.
boom, we were supposed to drop a project. And then things didn't go that way because at that point in time, we felt like that you was shitting on our music. We felt like that you kept saying that you like our music wasn't good or this, that, whatever. But we got through that. We got through that. You know what I mean? And it wasn't nothing like, oh, okay, all right, like do this, do that. The only thing that we were pretty much saying, like, hey, like, why don't you use your star players what you have? If you have someone that you know that is making like good music and stuff, why don't you utilize as far as them and with other artists as well? Mix them together. Was all that we was saying. We was helping you.
No,
You see what I'm saying? And it wasn't to the point where it's like, hey, we built you up or we did this, we did that. You know what I mean? Like you said that yourself. Fine, whatever. The only thing that we was basically saying is we wanted credibility. Is for and what you did in the beginning of this, you basically said that the hot seat and everything else, the sports stuff. That's all that we wanted was just the credibility. That was it. That was all that we was coming from. That's the truth of the matter. But besides all of that, that's pretty much why I said, hey, that's where I need the bridge, whatever, because that's like misunderstanding, right? That's pretty much like, okay, all right, cool. I get where they coming from. But when it comes to the own wax thing, and it's like, yo, if you have two artists supposed to be battling each other, one is not submitting their stuff. I'm doing the best I can. I'm the GM of it. I'm trying to, and I'm juggling everything else. You're doing the same thing. Your position is where you at. You're like you're the Don Julio pretty much. You know what I mean? You gotta make sure things go the way it's going. But yet it's like, yo, I don't have the right, etiquettes to pretty much, do my job. Was basically what I was saying. I
I'm no.
need more people. I need people to pretty much step up. You stepped up. I gave you your credibility. I said you stepped up. You submitted your tracks.
Yeah, I'm
Now,
right.
those that said differently, that's on them.
Well,
If they
that's what
said
I'm. Hold
differently,
on.
or
I
they
feel
have
like
grudges, or they don't like me as far as that, hey, they could tell me that from their
no,
face.
I
Other than
feel
that,
like
hey,
we keep
whatever.
going back to the same shit. I thought we didn't have that understood that you said what you said, they said what they said. That's kind of the end of that. I feel like we keep going back to that. I don't know why, but like I said, they say what they say. You say I'm in the middle. And some of that shit I agree with you when it comes to the battlers and shit like that. I even have that problem with a panel with guests that's supposed to be on the panel. They know what time the shit for. They don't show up. Even with events that I have, motherfuckers know what time it's gonna be, what day it's gonna be, and they act like they didn't never hear it. They didn't never get the memo. I understand all that, so I'm not validating what you're saying. At the
Yeah,
same,
but you can't say I don't show up though. And if I am late, I'm there. It's the
no,
point that
I'm
I'm
not
also
talking
making
about
too.
you. Nah,
I'm just saying, I
no,
get that, but I'm just saying in general. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
okay, I understand that, but for you to say like I wasn't there, and
when I
even
say that.
still like
You know what I'm saying? When did I say that? Like it's like you going back into a narrative. Like when did I say that? Like I
some of the
never
old
said
videos, you said that. You said I
I
was
didn't
never
say that. I
there.
said you wasn't reliable. There's a difference. You wasn't. Whether you want to hear it or not, you wasn't. I'm gonna call it what
Y-
it is. You wasn't reliable.
Okay, but the
You wasn't
point that I'm
reliable.
also making
If
is
I
that
give you a
I
business
was there.
opportunity and you sit there and don't like the way someone and you leave, you're not reliable. The business was only up for fucking a few weeks. Like what? Because I won't focus it on y'all. Like what? That really was
Okay,
the conversation. That was the first conversation. And then the second situation was that's my brother. Da 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 da. He only did what he did because you did what you did. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. Y'all brothers, that's cool. But don't act like I'm blind to the shit. That's not reliable to me because at the end of the day, I'm a content creator, so consistency matters. If my shit not booming like this, and and I say this to other people, if I reach out to you for something, I'm not I'm a regular nigga in my city, but I'm not a regular nigga. So if I reach out to you for something, you should take that shit as of the utmost important. It shouldn't be an option, especially when it's something that's benefiting somebody that's up and coming. I'm not saying I got the biggest platform or I got this or I got that, but everybody ain't gonna give you an opportunity every day.
yeah, but you need people, Hawklife. So even if they still showing they're there, it's the point I'm making.
I'm not. Wait.
And
Even
okay,
if
yeah, but
they
you're
not
saying
showing how they there, that's what I'm saying. Like, I get what you saying. If they showing it, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you're not showing, I'm talking about to the ones that's not showing. Now I'm making a general
okay,
statement.
all right, all right, all right,
To the
okay,
ones
all
who
right. I
not
get it, I
showing.
get it, I
If
get it now. All right,
somebody
yeah,
gives
yeah,
you
okay,
an opportunity, you take that
yeah, yeah,
opportunity
yeah,
serious.
yeah, yeah.
You know
You
what
take the
I'm saying?
opportunity,
I
yeah,
understand
okay.
some business relationships not gonna work. Everybody don't work good with everybody. If that's the case, if you know it don't work, don't even put yourself involved in it because now your track record look bad. See what I'm saying? Because every time you get into some shit, you want to leave. I understand motherfuckers fan bases as well. I understand what your fan base is and why y'all relevant. Y'all fan base thrives off of diss tracks. Majority of
No, they
y'all
don't.
Majority of y'all music is probably not diss track, but that's what y'all are known for. And y'all made this comment a while back, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. That's what a lot of y'all fan base know y'all for. Now,
No, not
out
actually.
of the last shit in the last, you can say no, but a lot of shit in the last 3-4 years has been y'all beefing back and forth with the same
I
motherfuckers.
mean, you could look back
And
on diss
most of them
tracks, bro. I
songs
first
was
diss.
about
Hold on,
them
hold on,
beefs.
hold on, hold on. Hold on. We're talking about my craft. We're talking about my craft, our
No, I'm
craft.
saying it not
Our first
out
diss
there.
track was to Pluto, and that was on your podcast. We was already making music years before then. Our fans was not basically based off of disses.
No, I
I hate
said
to
this.
say
I
that,
said it
but
not.
it's hold on. It
It's part
wasn't.
of it. Right.
It was only because of the simple fact of we got better. We inclined. We started looking at our music and our craft differently, which is why we have the step back where we're inventing ourselves. We're probably working on a new project. We're probably trying to get into like a setting or pretty
I
much.
do see y'all taking risks in the music. I do see that. I do see
But
that.
also it's because of other people how they talk, how they step, or the disrespect, if that makes sense.
Mm,
We're not going to diss somebody
okay.
just for no reason. You see what I'm trying to say?
There ain't nobody
Like,
pissed off for
nah,
no reason.
we're not going to do that. And I could say that as far as for all of the members, for Righteous Ones, Loud Boys, Loud Mob, all of the members. I could say that for each and every single one of the groups. You see what I'm saying? That's not what we're about.
But oh, one more other motherfucking thing. What I was about to say, another thing. I'm not gonna relate a situation, right? But y'all know what was said and who y'all said it to. Now, the fucked up part about that is this was a
Said
situation.
what?
I'm not gonna say it on live because I don't want to motherfuckers to take shit and run with it like they did, and that's why I exposed the fuck out of Triple OG and motherfuckers got quiet. If you did background check on that, then you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And if you acting like you don't, that's because your friends and mother not you, but if
No,
motherfuckers
I'm
act
just
like
trying to
they
listen
don't,
carefully. That's all.
if motherfuckers acting like they don't, that's because they rather sit there and protect the motherfucker dangling the carrot because the motherfucker gave him a few dollars to do a battle. Call it what it is. And you know what I'm talking about, the people over there at Street Talk. Call it what it is. Now,
Okay, so this don't got nothing to do with us, right?
yeah, every much not the Street Talk shit, but what I'm about to get into, what I was saying too much. I had got into a situation with somebody by the name of Smoke Off. A couple different names. Tyler Turon, a couple different names. When we got into it, y'all took it upon yourself to go and try to slander my name. And I got the information that the information came from y'all. Now
Huh.
I find that fucked up because but see this what I means about what I
Who
said.
said that? Smoke often
Let me get into it. That I believe
and
that's
Devilino all them?
yeah.
Because
They
didn't Red
trust
Pill
y'all.
went live and they trashed you on one of the interviews a couple months back and they said that they had the information first? You should
They
probably
say
look at
they
that
got it
live.
from y'all. That's the point.
Well, go back and watch that live
Now, this the thing.
because that's
Hold
where
on, this
also I
thing.
got the
There is
information
no
from.
information. Let's clarify that. There is no fucking information. There's no situation. There's no situation where nothing happened. It's just a bunch of bullshit and motherfuckers trying to slander my name. Right? And I made it a point to let it be known. Everything on this platform as of today is
Okay, well,
legally
look,
binding. So
you're going
no,
at the wrong one about that one.
no.
They made an interview first
They
about
made an
you.
interview, but they say they got the information from y'all. And I
Hold
didn't
on
finish
though.
what I said because I don't know if it's true. Like I said, y'all said what y'all said. They said,
Okay, so if you don't know
but
it's
let me
true,
finish. Let me finish.
if
You
you
gotta
hold
let me
on,
finish.
I'm say
You
this
can't hold
first.
on. You gotta let me
If you
finish.
don't know it's true,
No, I ain't saying it ain't true because what they said, only people would know that is the people I've conversated with. So I'm not going to say that. All I'm saying is this is why I won't get into it. This is what I'm saying.
they saying
Legally,
that they got it from us first, but yet they went live first, and yet they basically slandered your name on that live. Did you see that video? I did.
I saw it, but they said the information they got, they received
They
from
did
y'all.
not say us on that live. I
They didn't
watched
have
it.
to say it on their live. They told it to me in private. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It
Okay,
wasn't
so
on the
you
live.
don't think that's kind of crazy? They went live, slandered your whole name, and said you did this and you did
No, I
that,
don't think it's
Hawklyfe.
kind of crazy. I don't think it's
And
kind of crazy
then
at all because at the
privately
time,
messaged you and said that they heard it from us.
what happened was me and Smoke Off was having a battle, and that's how it came out.
So you and Smoke Often was having a fucking battle.
And that's how it came out, and that's how he. Now, let me get me and break it down to you. If people was keeping up, me and Smoke often had a battle. We didn't even much like each other at first. All right. Um, First thing come out his mouth is you a blase blase, and I'm like, where you get your information from? Oh, your people told it to me. They, I said, all right, bam. I went through my account. This all while we beefing. This happened. My account get hacked. Again, somebody come and tell me, oh, that came from them. Now I know for a fact Chifa is not technically sound. Period. So if somebody would have told me it came from Chifa, I would have said you're fucking lying. Now, on the other hand, I don't know. But Chifa, I would have said you fucking lying. For far as somebody hacking my account, right? That happened. 7,000, right?
I didn't hack your account.
That was the first thing. Now that came from another source. Actually, that came from, I'm not gonna say actually, I guess fuck it. I guess
You might as
that
well
came
say it.
from who you going against. Put it like that. right?
Oh, shock.
I want to be 100% correct. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But it came from somebody that y'all was cool with, and at the time y'all was into it. And I remember that Pacific that you was into it with that Pacific person, and that Pacific person was like they known for dead saying they having hackers and shit like that, right? Which when I hear it, I like once again, Chifa is not technically sound, and he'll tell you that. So I know it didn't come from Chief. All right, that I heard. Once again, it's two sides, and then it's the truth in the middle. I don't know. I'm just only relaying what I was told. Even when they said what they said, the only difference about that situation, they said some shit that only people that was in my circle at the time would only know. All right. But what pissed me off is not even much about them saying it. Is if niggas felt like that, why you was still fucking with me 2 years after the fact that you sat there and watched me fight for my motherfucking name, fight for my brand, fight for my
All right.
son, and
Didn't
why?
we ask you was it true or not?
Yeah,
Let's get real. Okay then. All right. So didn't a dude popped up on your damn live one day and said that you did this and you did that, and didn't I pretty much expose him for that shit in the middle of your live with somebody else that you was pretty much interviewing? And I asked you who was that, because this
no,
ain't the
that was
first
something
time
else.
that somebody
That
said
was
that, and you was like
no.
it was a
That
dude
dude
that
that came on
we
my
ain't
hold
gonna.
up. That dude that came on my live was saying I stole Chop It Up the podcast from him. Now the
Uh,
dude that I got into it with, that was the only person that ever came on my live and said something. And
No,
he
there
was,
was another one,
but the dude
and
that
it
actually
was on
said it,
Tiffany Jane interview, and you was in the middle of the interview. I happened to got
Tiffany
on and I
Jane.
watched it, and pretty much y'all was talking about shit that was like interesting and shit. And I was like, okay, cool. After
But
that,
this
there
is
was a
fun.
comment. There was
That's
a
what I'm trying to
comment.
tell you. The dude that actually started this shit back in the Discord days came back and apologized. A lot of people don't know he did that shit out of spite. A lot of people know it's out
Okay,
of spite and it was about a battle. It was two different situations. I was battling another dude that was in his league. I fired him. But I stopped not firing him because you can't fire nobody you ain't paying. But I just couldn't work with them business wise. And this what niggas do. When you start working with them business wise, they do start to do shit out of spite. And that's exactly what happened. It was a little bit out of spite, and it was so dude can
the
possibly win.
point that I'm making is that it's not a good look, and we even said that as well back in the days. That it's not a good look when someone comes on there and they're saying this to say that. We had that talk before.
I
Now,
don't give a
other than
shit
that,
for the good look. The whole thing
oh,
that pisses me off is people take shit and run with it without no
okay, well,
factual, no
that's what people
evidence.
going to do
No,
regardless
that's
when they
not what
see
they're gonna
something
do.
like that.
No, that's
Especially,
not. Hold
especially
up,
if
hold up,
people
hold up.
hating
That's
on
not
you.
what they're gonna do. Because when the situation happened with what's his name over there at Street Talk, all them same motherfuckers was quiet as a church mouse. None of them opened their mouth. The only
Okay,
person that called them out and they had proof and they still kept their fucking mouth quiet. The only person that opened their mouth and said something was me. It was the only
okay.
person.
Well, the
Now
way
the
I see
funny
it
thing about
is
it
that
is, and it's not y'all, it's just in general. And I'm starting to see this. Well, everybody got a personal issue, whether they want to say it or not. Everybody got a personal fucking issue with me. And I don't know what it is, why it is. I don't know if it's success. I don't know if motherfuckers don't like that I say what I mean and mean what I say and say it how I say it. I don't know if niggas feel like they don't like the fact that I'm not an ass kisser or I don't, I move on my own beat. I don't know what it is, but it's like when it come to me and somebody say some shit about me, it's volume to the 10 power. But when somebody say some shit about somebody else, niggas is mum. I'm talking about hush. It don't work like that. So again, not saying this, I can't say 100% that it came from y'all, but like I said, it was shit that was said that only could have been said in that main circle. But what I will say is this: again, niggas can't tell me how to react after you come at me the wrong way. I'm
all
and
right.
if it's nice shit, I'm not going for it. Like I
And I
said,
feel that. And that's how I feel as well. Niggas can't tell me as far as where how I react as well. And that's all I've been saying as well. So we're pretty much saying the same thing. But at the same, I think, hold on.
yeah, we saying
I
the
gotta
same.
get a charger. My
Hell, why
phone
you getting
started.
charger? Let me say this. I say the same thing. He said the same thing. That's true. But at the same time, as I say again, if we cool and we we family supposed to be. Niggas should be conducting themselves in a different manner. If 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 I come at you about something, you should be receptible to it in a certain manner, unless I'm being disrespectful. And if you tell me I'm being disrespectful, then I'm being disrespectful. I gotta respect your feelings. That's valid. But at the same time, it's the way you approach shit and the way you talk to people. At the end of the day, I'm a grown ass man. You're a grown ass man. I'm not gonna talk to you like a child. You're not gonna talk to me like nothing. That's the way that's gonna go. At the same time, though, if I fuck with a nigga, and I'm gonna reiterate this again, if I fuck with you, because half of the way, the energy that I give people, people do not give me back. Let's be clear. And that's not just in the internet world, that's in real life. That's in real life. People don't give you that energy back. Everybody got their own motherfucking what the word called? Everybody got their own intent. Whatever they in it for, whatever they trying to get. You know what I'm saying? And being the type of person that I am, the character that I carry, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lose my blessings regardless. So I'm not gonna stop being me just because other motherfuckers is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I've never been that type of person, but people would never know what the fuck I got going on unless I say it. Now, again, I can't. Again, like I said, I don't blame nobody for reacting the way they react. Like I said, because if I did something and you acted in a certain way, even if you said it or didn't say it, that was your choice. I can't tell you how to act, but the thing that rubs me the wrong way is when you see a nigga fighting for their life for 2 years and you decide to bring this back up. Now, everywhere I go, I got motherfuckers bringing this shit back up.
Hey,
And
look.
the reason I brought the street talk shit in was because I met these dudes first. And I'm the one who put them on to all these other motherfuckers, Devil, even when I wasn't much fucking with Devilino on them. And I really don't fuck with them like that. And I really wasn't fucking with them like that. And they went and try to again defame my character. Right? You try to defame my character again. So that's another thing I don't understand. Like, how the fuck and then y'all allow this shit to go down in the chat. That's my whole point. That's my point of saying, bro. That, like, I'm a real ass nigga. At the end of the day, I would never sit and have an intentional conversation about somebody behind their back. And this wasn't the first time that it happened. It was a situation, a misunderstanding with the Devilino situation. I still don't know what the fuck I told Devilino for you to go back and tell Devilino something I said. I still don't remember in clarity what was said. All, all I all I know is that's how that whole situation right there with the Devilino Gorilla. That was part of the problem. The other part of the problem is the sideline niggas on that side that he didn't have no control of. That made it even worse. That fucked up a lot of shit. I agree with the battles. That's why I'm not doing no battles right now. Niggas don't show up. I'm not gonna waste my time to do something for y'all not to show up. Period. Don't hit me up talking about when the battle is, then you get a battle, then you don't show up. Don't hit me asking or when the music competition is, and you won't answer in the motherfucking chat. Don't tell me it's impossible for you to take a minute out your day and respond to a comment. You don't have to pick up a phone. It ain't like you gotta call a motherfucker. All you gotta do is text. It's simple as that. Communication. That's what it comes down to. Motherfucker can't expect me to know what they're thinking or what's going on if they're not communicating. And that was the lack of communication between me and the GMs at that point because I didn't have a good communication with the GMs at the point. Like I said, with Chifa, I knew what his situation was. If he backed up, because he deserved so. Because from the start, he was there every day, every event, every Friday. But had he said, I needed time to back up and breathe, it would have been understood. That's not what he said. When Lyric said, when the shit happened with me and Lyric, and I was like, this was gonna happen. I did say it in the video. I'm like, I can't do business with them right now. I made that very clear. So that's why y'all was not on the live. I made that very clear. All right. So when that situation happened, and I don't know if y'all had to had some conversation before y'all made the decision that both of y'all was gonna quit at the same time.
No.
It's no
Because we had talked to you about it first. If you don't remember, we had already had talked to you about it, and
no
that was in the
no
middle of like
no.
the
I
friction that was
got
already
actually
going on.
blindsided to the fact that both of y'all was quitting. I had said in the thing, I'm like, I don't think I can work with Lyric on the business aspect, because really what I was looking at was it was the lack of communication, and I felt like honestly you didn't
You
have the
called me
time.
every day.
Honestly, you didn't
We
have the
we
time
we
to
smoked
do it.
almost every morning. What are you talking about?
Right.
Not even that. Not even that.
Well, I'm
Like you
talking about
knew a lot
business.
of
That's
things that
personal. I'm talking about
it does.
business.
We talked about business as well
Right.
during
I'm
those
saying what
times.
I said on the live. I'm saying
But
as far as we can't right now in this moment we can't do no business because there was a lot of shit going on in the background. And then it seemed like right halfway through that live, I believe it was halfway through that live or after that live is when y'all made the announcement that both of y'all was stepping down. So to
yeah,
say we had a
because of
conversation,
the
we
other
did
stuff
not.
that you were
Like,
saying
cause
during the live.
right. So don't say we had a conversation when it was something that y'all
I
agreed on.
thought that you was talking about a different event. My bad. But it was if you talking about that time during the video, what you said, whatever. Yeah, I mean, we was supposed to be on that live. You chose to pretty much not have us on there. Yeah, cool, whatever. But like I
I
said,
don't
it
do
was
that
the
'cause I recall doing a live without anybody knowing I was doing it. So I don't recall even much telling nobody
we
to
w-
live.
we asked you to come to the live so
And I
that case we could tell
specifically
our
said
side.
no.
You said yes. After that, you went live and you basically said that you wasn't going to bring us on the live, and then you went off basically talking about a whole bunch of stuff about my life after that. Like you were just only like targeting me. It wasn't really like nothing.
Because there
Like
was
you
the
didn't.
issue really
The,
with
the
you.
only thing the only thing that you said about bro was that was kind of contradicting at the time was you was like, you know, they brothers and they're gonna agree with they're gonna agree with each
That's
other
not
anyway
contradictory. He just
because
said it. That's
because
not
you was saying
contradictory.
that a lot back then. Then after that you was like, you know,
I
when
wasn't the
one
only
brother
one saying that though.
hold
Like
on. You
I
was
talked
like, when
to
one brother moved, the other brother gonna move, da da whatever. And then you said some other more stuff basically about me and stuff. And then after that, like it was like boom, that was it. I basically was saying I did not agree with some of the things that you were saying. If you would have kept my life out of that live, it's all I'm saying. Yeah, there probably wouldn't have been no problem. If we would have came onto the live, there wouldn't have been no problem. That's
it
all that
was
I'm
gonna be
saying.
a problem regardless. And it was gonna be a problem.
Well, that's how you feel, bro, and I
Just
respect
telling
that.
you what it
But
is.
I'm
It's already
telling
a
you,
problem. It's no
I'm
such thing
telling
as
you,
it was gonna be a problem. It was already a
I
problem.
respect that. That's how you feel. I respect that. But I'm just basically telling you
Ain't how I
how
feel. I
I
what
felt.
was going on in the background. It was already a problem. Ain't no such thing as it wasn't gonna be a
Yes, there was
problem.
already a problem, but at the same time, you know, like you don't know how another person feel, bro. Maybe to me it wasn't that big. And it didn't get that big until you spoke about a certain event. That's all that I'm
I'm trying
saying.
to
And
tell
I've
you,
been
it was
saying that.
that big to me. The one thing about me, people gonna always downplay how their actions in the situation or feel like it wasn't that big to them, but it was that big. Because at the end of the day, it got to the point it was threats being made. It got to the point niggas said, "I'm gonna pull up on you and taking pictures of
Okay,
highway."
well, it was big,
I
but
never
at
took
the
pictures
same
of anything. I never
it was
pulled up
big,
on
but
niggas.
at the same time that I'm basically trying to say is on my side, you know what I mean? On my side, you spoke about the reason why you did not want us to have us on the live. I get that, understand that. I listened to your side. I listened to you. You vented. I'm just basically telling you on my side, there was things that you said that I did not like. And I have every rights to feel that way, just like how you have every rights to feel the way how you feel. That's all that I'm trying to get a point across. That's it.
Oh no, I heard all that. I
That's it.
understand,
Other than that, I also said, like, yo, if that part did not play the part, it could have been differently. I know myself. It's all I've been saying.
but
Now, as far as the other stuff with the other podcasts and everything else and shit, I don't give a fuck about them. I don't fuck with them. I don't fuck with them. I don't fuck with Shock. I don't fuck with none of them. Everybody knows that. It's not no damn secret. I stay to myself. I
I
stay to
don't care.
myself. I make my music. I
I
do
don't know
things
who
I
y'all
do.
fuck with and
When
don't
I
fuck with. 'Cause one moment y'all friends, next minute y'all beef. I don't know what the fuck y'all got going on. It's a bunch of mental
I
patients.
haven't talked. Actually, tell you the truth, this is the first time I talked to Shock, and the first time I technically talked to you as well. You see what I'm saying?
I,
So other than
yeah,
that,
but
like,
you been shooting your shit on thread though. You've been throwing your little shots out there. Don't act like you ain't been throwing shots out there this whole
so
time.
have you.
Yeah,
You
not
can't say I. Oh, okay,
not really
okay,
throwing shots
but
at
that's on
you.
both sides. We both accountable for that. Whatever. You see what I'm trying to say?
I'm not
But the
saying
point
you
that I'm
just throwing
making,
shots at me. I'm just saying you just been throwing shots since the shit going on. Like
the
thread shots. That's what I'm
everybody throwing shots.
saying.
Everybody throwing shots. But the point that I the
Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. It's banter, but what I'm saying is this: I don't
as
know
far as
the
actual
situation.
verbal communication, this is my first time actually verbally talking to you. Just like Shock and just like everybody else. I've been off the bat. I've been focused on my own life. I don't fuck with nobody like that. And I think everybody knows that. There's only a small select of people I do fuck with. I don't fuck with people like that.
That's good. That's
I
honorable.
can really care less as far as like some of the other things that I do be hearing and everything else like that. You know what I mean? Unless it's dealing with, like I said before, principles. If it's dealing with, the people that I'm loyalty to, or my family, my friends, or like my kids, the way how people be speaking about kids and this shit and that shit, you know what I mean? Like I feel the way how I feel. I feel like people should stop mentioning family members and rap beef and this and that, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I always preach that. I always have said that. You know what I mean? Because people was doing that already from Jump Street. I
Yeah,
didn't like it then. You know what I mean? And I damn sure don't like it now. I'm still saying the same thing I've been saying. I'm still staying on the same energy I'm staying on. But I do know what I was thinking back then versus to now. All I'm saying is that, you know what I mean? Like, them motherfuckers, they know what it is. They know what it is with them. They know. You know what I mean? As far as us, you know what I mean? Like, hey, we're talking about it. We're clearing the air, you know what I mean? That's the only thing I want. I just want to be sincere about it, you know what I mean? That's why I said, hey, that's if you take it as far as the way how you take it, fine, whatever. Then we can go on from there, you know what I mean? If not, and you feel the way how you feel, hey, I respect that. We don't have to fuck with each other neither after this or whatever. You know what I mean? It's all up to you as well. The ball is in your court as well. That's all I'm saying. But all that I'm basically saying is that that's the part where things went wrong with me. Just like how things went wrong with you that you spoke about, and I understand that. Fine. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I mean, like, you can't really like in order to have a conversation, like they gotta be a receiver and they gotta be a sender. So,
exactly. Exactly. So that means if a nigga saying something, you talking over, man, ain't no receiving. People looking to respond. But I get that. I
no,
get all
I'm receiving, I get it, but at the same time, I just want to make sure that you understand. Like,
Oh
I
no,
don't
I
want
get
you
that. One
I
thing I
don't want to get off the live and then like you feel like okay, all right, like just because that one part or that or whatever. Like I don't want you to think differently. You know what I mean? Like, hey, like I agree to come on here. We already spent close to an hour, 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like we talked about it. It's what it is. You know what I mean? Like
no, I
you
I
know,
I like I said, my person, the way I transcribe all this, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm a leave motherfuckers with this warning first and foremost before I say anything else. And like once again, like I said, everything on my platform is legal. If I can't hit you in your mouth, I'm gonna hit you in your pockets. Don't speak on me no more. Nobody. I already gave niggas that warning. Everything on my platform is legal. So when you speak on me and it affects my platform, then it affects my bottom line. So that means I have every right to sue you for defamation of character. Don't try me. My paperwork, that's for those out there in Facebook world, YouTube world, everybody that like to say shit about Hawklyfe and think that shit cool. Everybody, you get it.
okay.
Everybody, you get into it one person, everybody, all of a
Are you
sudden,
talking in generally or are you throwing
I'm
a shot
saying
at
in
me?
general. I'm
Okay,
not
all
throwing
right.
shots. I can't throw shots when the person's, if I was saying something to you,
I only said that because of the
you in
fact
the
that you
room.
brought up the whole red pill situation. I'm like, well, damn, them niggas went live and said that about you. You know what I mean? Like, I may put in the song, but we're beefing. It's kind of like, bruh, like, yo, if
Same
you
thing,
got
though.
ammo, why
You're
not
doing that
use it?
song,
You see
putting
what I'm trying to say?
a false narrative in the song,
Like,
you defaming my character. So I'm clearly letting everybody know it's a general statement, but I'm letting everybody knows if I can't hit you in your mouth, I'm gonna hit you in your pockets. Keep my name out your mouth. Do not defame my name. If you're gonna come at me with correct shit. Don't come at me with he say, she say, what you think it is, what it could have been. Don't do it. And then what makes it even worse is every time I fight off one situation with the shit, somebody else won't bring it up like it's a cool badge of honor. It's not, my nigga, because you bringing up shit that's supposed to be already in the grave already. So you bringing it up to try to make yourself look
chomp
good.
me?
No, I'm saying in general.
Okay, all right.
You try to make yourself look good or do it out of spite. If a motherfucker did it out of spite, because that's what I'm told the motherfucker did it, and these motherfuckers who did it. And if I'm only saying it now, I'm speaking to y'all. If y'all was the ones who did it, but what I'm saying is their side, your side, and the motherfucking truth. First of all, they say they had proof, they never dropped it. Physical proof, not he say she say physical, they never dropped it. First off, second of all, and that's the problem. I shouldn't have to keep defending
Who's
myself.
they?
I'm talking about rape him. I shouldn't have to keep defending myself 30, 40 times over and over with the same shit after I've not ready to defend myself for 2 years. I had to fight my way back on Discord. Cause I fought every day to where niggas had no choice but to respect what the fuck I was saying. First and foremost, out of pure clarity, transparency, situation was a situation where I ain't even much did no pedophile shit. Let's clear that up, right? Because that's what was going around. That's what's pissing me off, right? And that's why I said it's crazy when the motherfucker says the motherfuckers that was around you that went back and said it to them, who motherfuckers I don't even much know. I only how I met Tyler Turner is him calling me a fucking pedophile.
I mean,
See what I'm saying? I don't even must know the nigga. That's how that came about, right? Let's clear it out. First of all, I can't be a pedophile because I've never talked to an underage child. Second of all, I got nieces, nephews, girls that I done raised all my motherfucking life. Second of all, one thing I do not play with is fucking children. Third off, my nigga, the situation himself in transparency. I was in Discord. They got a lot of Discord chats. The young fella that I was battling was 17 or 18. He called me out for a battle. He was in a different league. The other young fella that who league he was in that used to work for me was also around that age, but I didn't bring him on. I had another guy who did my first flight, my first battle rap kingdom. The main one I used, he was the one that got that logo done. He brought him on, right? I don't know their situation. So whatever happened in that situation, uh, what happened with me and the youngster was he was disrespectful. He did some shit, and I kind of fell back. It's the same kind of situation. If it's gonna be toxic, I can't do business with you. So I kind of backed it up. Then nigga pause. At that time, shit was hot. We was hot with the battles. We was hot with the interviews. I was hot with everything. Then I had Morrow come into one of my lives and say that I stole Chop Up the podcast from him. If you go back and look, this was my shit from the beginning. And he was my co-host. He was also the person I trusted with a lot of my shit, and it disappeared. A lot of recording, a lot of interviews, a lot of them pre-recorded interviews. I should have a backlog still right now. So it was crazy that a motherfucker got on my live and said that. But that was crazy. Um, and if it wasn't for me, now mind you, I hadn't talked to the nigga in a year. So mind you, if I don't keep chopping up the podcast going, where would it be today? Nowhere. If I didn't continue, I don't give a fuck who in my corner.
I don't know, but I'm just gonna clear the air on this. But like, you know, motherfuckers can't say that they got it from us or anything like that because people been saying that way before we even knew you as well. And we asked you about it.
Nah,
And other than asking you about it,
nah.
there's other people that claim that hold on, there's other people that claim that they had proof and shit.
And again, that's not
So
true. Like this, they're trying to throw that narrative shit. That's not true. That's not true at all. We was cool. I had just met them when this shit started, so that's not true at all. We was cool for a
there's
minute before.
two
Hold up.
people.
We was cool for a
No, no,
minute.
no. I'm just telling you what I heard.
Hold on,
That's
hold on,
all.
hold on, hold on. We was
There's
cool
two
for.
people that claim that they have. I'm just telling you what I heard. That might could
Let
help
me
you.
finish
So that
though.
case you can get at the right motherfuckers. But there's two people that claim that they had the proof. One of them I spoke to, and I've seen it, and it's a screenshot.
A screenshot is not proof of nothing.
Now,
That's what I'm trying to get people to understand. I explained this. So see, this what I mean by motherfuckers trying to bring this narrative back out. Let me explain. If you would have let me finish, I would have explained the situation about the Discord. That's what I was getting into. First of all, that's not proof. Let me clear that up. Because first of all, people don't know how Discord works. Discord is a general chat. The only way you can be talking to a person directly is if you tag them. Meaning I have to tag the girl that they're trying to say that I'm having some going, I'm having some going. You can clearly see I'm not responding to a girl. I'm responding to something that was said to me. That's a difference. Somebody said, "Oh, there's a such and such over here," and I said, I only mess with bad bitches." That is not me talking about this girl. That means I'm responding to what the fuck you say because I had no idea who or what the fuck they was talking about. I was just letting motherfuckers know. First of all, I don't fuck with ugly bitches. I fuck with bad bitches. Period. That was what I was saying. I don't know nothing about the girl, her age, none of that. First of all, this girl, you don't know who a motherfucker is because a motherfucker can hide behind whatever. You know what I'm saying? First of all. Second of all, I didn't even, that was my first time them trying to hook me up with the girl. My first time even seeing the girl, having a conversation with her. I didn't even much have a conversation with her. Let me correct that. I never even much had a conversation with her. I'm having a conversation with them. Mind you, they tagged me in a general comment. And when I say general, when I mean when you in that chat, if you go in there, there's a general chat, there's a voice chat, there's and all these other different voice chats for certain shit. But when you want to talk to somebody directly, just like on Facebook, you tag them directly. That
Well,
lets you know that you're talking to them directly. Everybody else, I don't know what the
the
fuck they had going on. Like I said, they was trying to shoot a narrative for a battle. We're not gonna shoot this narrative. Oh, two people told me this and this and that bullshit.
no, no, no.
Then
I'm
again, I can't
just
even say they whoever told you that. That's not proof.
I look like it's whatever. You know what I mean? Like I don't
It can't
even
be whatever
really.
because it's not your narrative. It's mine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it
yeah,
can't
yeah.
be made up.
Facts,
You
facts,
know what I'm
facts.
saying?
But
So I gotta confirm
now,
what it is. And then the
yeah,
problem
yeah, yeah,
is I
yeah. I
got
feel
to
you.
keep, and I just
I
said this,
mean, it's a
gotta keep
serious matter.
defending myself
Now, I'm just
because
saying
it's
the
the
only
way
reason
this
why
narrative thrown out there. So I gotta keep on
the
defending. Now the
the
people,
only
I don't
reason
know who
why
this.
I put it into a song is because more than one people said it.
The crazy
That's really
point,
it.
and that's
Now,
the excuse of why you put it in the song after 2 years, knowing that I fought this. Make it make sense now. Am I fucking losing it? Make it make sense. Am I tripping? That's why I said what I said when I say what I say. When it come down to me, niggas won't take it to the imp power. But when it come down to other motherfuckers, niggas is mad quiet. Now I'm not talking about the niggas you beefing with. Y'all niggas been imaginary beefing for years. I don't know what the fuck you shot, Mexico shot. At this
okay,
point, I know
what
both
the
of
hell
them
you
mentally
talking about?
disturbed. So I'm not
Look,
about to
anyway, so
hold up. You can't
long
cut.
story short,
Hold up. You gotta
whatever.
let me talk. Hold up. I don't know what y'all got going on with them. I don't know what other people got going on with other people. All I'm saying is when it comes to me,
It's
nigga
not
ain't shit.
us, bro.
I'm
It's the
making a
people.
general statement.
It's the
When it comes
hold
to
on.
me,
It's the people.
can
Hold on.
I
Take
talk?
that. Hold on. Take that
No, hold
energy.
on, y'all. Let me talk. You keep
Take
cutting me
that.
off. Like, let me
Like
talk. When I'm saying
because
is,
I'm trying to tell
let me
you.
talk, and then you can say what you have to say. When it's a general statement, this the thing about it. When it comes to me, niggas act crazy, and take it to the max. Hold on, say what you gotta say, cause she tripping.
I was just gonna say take that up with them niggas in the battle rap world because that's probably where it came from, bro. That's all I'm saying.
The clothes that was in the dryer before you had put it in the own thing. I don't know what I did with it.
Man, you didn't. Some clothes is in that bag. I've been put them clothes
Oh,
in the
okay.
bag.
I didn't say anything else until you got back. You know what I mean? So that case you didn't miss anything.
What you said?
But pretty much, I said I didn't say anything else until you got back. So that case you didn't miss anything. But what I was saying was this. I just find it kind of crazy that pretty much, you know what I mean? Like, look, I might have said it in this and that third, dot, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like we were beefing with each other. Was pretty much all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like we're beefing with each other and shit.
But
Now,
God, this
hold,
that I understand. And all that
hold on.
sounds good. All
With
that
the
sounds
hack
good.
page and shit, never done it. With everything else and shit,
On your phone.
whatever. We're beefing with each other. We said shit. You know what I mean? Now you got one motherfucker that went live and pretty much really did slander your fucking name and shit. And you know they claim that they had the proof. Had the proof. Then you had another motherfucker that said this and that as well. You see what I'm trying to say? And showed the proof. You know what I mean? So,
Once
you
again,
know,
I gotta defend this again. There was no fucking proof.
hold on. Do I believe it? Do I believe it or not? I
But
asked
you're
you.
calling
You
it
see what I'm
proof. It
saying?
don't matter if you believe it. You calling it proof.
Okay.
So
All
clearly
right. All
you
right. Well,
believe
I
it.
seen the. I okay.
The
All right.
fuck?
Well, I ain't gonna say proof then. All right. So then, you know
You not understand that you
that.
shoot the narrative. Like, what the fuck? Like, I gotta keep defending the same thing. Ain't no fucking proof. You saw a screenshot of what somebody wanted you to think was proof. That ain't no proof.
Right.
I'm,
Right. Okay.
I'm there
All
in the
right. Yeah.
fence.
Yeah. 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 Let's say
I'm
that
there
then.
in the
All right.
fence.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I done
Okay.
fought this for 2 years. You knew this
I seen the
before. You knew this
screenshot.
before. I sent you.
Okay. All right.
I sent you the
All right.
so-called
I seen the
screenshot they try
screenshot.
to use. So y'all knew this before. So what you did in that song was out of spite, and you brought that shit back up. That's foul. To me, that's foul because at the end of the day, my nigga, at the end of the day, you was
Actually,
around a nigga when I
well,
first spoke this shit. So to bring that shit back in,
hold on. You brought up the whole thing. I
nah, them
wasn't going
damn
to talk
shit. Nah,
about
I
it.
brought it up. That's
You
crazy.
did. You did brought it up.
That's
I
crazy. Nah,
said
I brought
basically
it up.
that
When?
I'm talking about in this life. You brought it up.
I'm not
I
talking
wasn't
about
even going to
y'all.
talk.
I'm talking
I wasn't even going to talk about that. To be real with you, like
about
that wasn't even the whole point of me even coming here. Whatever. Like you brought up that
I
whole
was gonna
shit.
lay everything on the table. I'm
Now,
gonna tell
other
you
than that,
shit.
whatever, I was just basically saying that, hey, look, like, some niggas basically try to show me, basically trying to get me to pretty much. Now, when I had wrote that shit, that was way before I even seen that, was pretty much what I was trying to get to. You see what I'm
Listen,
trying to say? So, I just want you to have a pretty much like clear mind to thinking like, okay, all right, cool. Like,
yeah,
I see exactly.
I got a real clear mind of what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying it from this, from just how
You're basically going off, and you know what I
no, I'm
mean. Like,
saying how it makes
it's
me
confusing the
feel.
fuck out of me because that's
No,
why I
I'm
keep
saying
asking you,
how
like,
it makes me feel.
like who is they, who is this? You know what I mean?
Ain't
Like
no
that's why I'm
this.
asking
I just
questions as
told
well, and
you
I'm trying to
y'all
keep
said the
up.
shit. I
And
just
then
told
I'm
you
trying
they
to tell
said y'all
you,
said the
trying
shit.
to be a real nigga, and then I'm like, okay, I kind of can't, you know what I mean?
No, it
Because
ain't.
like
It's just
I
you
feel
gotta
you,
hear
you
what I
going to fuck
understand.
off, and I'm like, all right,
I'm
cool,
not going off. I'm telling the motherfucker
you
how
know,
I feel. I
I
feel
feel
like
that,
that's
I feel
foul.
that,
If
but
you went behind a nigga back and did that, and them dudes says you did that, that's foul. Because at the same time, you're saying somebody sent you something when I had already showed you the same so-called. I'm the one who sent it to you. I'm the one who, when I was defending myself during the time this shit was going on, y'all already knew. So ain't no such thing as somebody sent y'all something. That's the shit I'm talking about. Like, keep it a buck 100. My whole point is this, my nigga. Whoever, I'm not saying you did, you didn't, it
that's
wasn't,
why I said take
I
it
don't
up
want to
with
hear it no more.
them niggas. That's why I
I'm
said
telling it
take it
to
up with
every,
them niggas.
I'm telling it
That's
to
why I'm
everybody.
like, yo,
I'm telling it
like,
to everybody.
you
Niggas
know what I
threw
mean?
y'all in the mix, whether y'all did it or not. I'm telling it to everybody. Keep my fucking name out your mouth unless it's about business. If it ain't about no business, if it ain't that
Okay,
situation should have
well,
never came back up. Period. Wherever
at
it
the
came.
same, hey,
Respectfully, I respect
that
y'all.
same
Y'all
energy,
respect me.
that
We gonna move forward and do what the fuck we gotta do
cool,
business
cool,
wise.
cool,
But all
cool,
that other shit,
cool.
all that
But the
deep
only thing
ass
I'm
shit,
asking for,
all that
don't
sassy
tell.
ass shit, all that
All
arguing,
right,
toxic shit, I'm not
yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah,
But at the
yeah,
end of
yeah,
the
yeah.
day,
All right,
I'm giving it to niggas as real as I can give it to them. Because at the end of the
yeah,
day,
yeah. I feel
I
that.
feel
I
like
feel
I
that.
just said in life and on this internet shit, niggas take my kindness for weakness. I'm not him. I
Okay,
had to tell
cool,
some niggas that in the streets, I'm not him. Don't play with me. I'm not him.
cool,
Niggas
cool, cool.
said in my face and try to act like he didn't do what he did, and I know he did what he did. That's why I
Yeah.
got on his ass. I don't
Who is
play like
he?
that.
Who is
Don't worry
he?
about that.
Because
That's some
I feel
street
like you
shit.
coming at me
No,
for
no,
that
my
energy.
boy,
You
you're
see what I'm
not
trying to say?
listening.
Like,
That's some street shit. That don't have nothing to do with you. You don't hear me
okay, all
saying
right.
that's some
That's
street
what I'm
shit.
saying. I'm confused,
Yeah,
bro.
you're
Like,
not
that's what I'm
listening.
saying.
That
Like,
means
you
you're not
popping off.
listening.
You know what I mean? I'm
No,
trying to like catch up,
no,
and
you
that's
gotta
why I said
listen.
that.
You gotta listen.
You know what I
That's why I
mean?
said I'm on
Like,
some street shit. That was on street shit. What I'm saying is niggas in life and on the internet like to take a nigga kindness for weakness. What I'm saying is I had to check a nigga about some shit that he did. And I know why he did it. That's why I had to check him and I had to let him know you don't fucking know me. Don't play with me. See what
all
I'm
right,
saying?
cool. All
That's
right,
what I'm
cool,
saying.
cool, cool.
That's why
All right,
I
cool.
had to check him and let him know I'm not who you think I am. And whatever I got going on, that's my motherfucking business. And you and nobody else should be shooing about it. That to give you clarity. So now you got to understand it. It had nothing to do with nobody on here. Now, with the other
All
shit,
right,
like
bet.
I said, with the shit that y'all did, there's another situation where niggas, I feel like niggas steady taking my kindness for weakness. I feel like I don't know what niggas think. I don't know what people think. You know what I'm saying? I been a nigga don't give a fuck about no friends, no partners, no cousins, no nothing. Understand this? I've been a loner. I'm a motherfucking Aries. I'm content with being by myself. If you don't bring no value to me, you can stay the fuck from around me. I done seen family, partners, cousins. I don't give a fuck who you is. If you coming around me in my space and in my energy and you fucking with it, you gotta go. Period. So at the end of the day,
I feel that.
with that situation, y'all was fucking with my energy. Now I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. With that situation, y'all was fucking with my energy, and that was fucking with my heartstring because I really fucked with y'all, and I
You
felt
talking
like
about back then?
just yeah, and I felt
Okay,
like
all right, cool.
I
That's
felt
how we
like
felt too. All right, cool.
and I felt like
All right,
niggas was doing shit. Niggas was doing shit and fucking up business relationships I had going on too, out of spite. That's how the shit happened with the Devilino shit. Cause nigga went and said some shit, said I said some shit, and then say some shit back. I don't recall what I said to him about
who?
you, but you say I said some shit to him about you, so you say some shit to him about me. With the
Back
Devilino.
then with Devilino?
Yeah, with the
Me and
Devilino.
Devilino never even had a conversation
But
back
you
then.
did tell me I said something about Devilino to you though. But he did say you said something about me. He did. That's what made the fallout happen.
Okay, listen to what I'm saying. After I fallen out, me and Devilino never talked. So
Yeah.
after I got out of jail, my nigga.
Right. No, not our fallout, my boy. Not our fallout. I'm talking about I
Okay, well, from that
when,
time period,
hold on, let me correct it.
from
When Battle
out.
Rap Kingdom fell out with Gorilla Warzone.
Okay,
Now you get it?
listen from that period all the way till I got out. Me and
No,
Devilino never spoke.
fallout had already happened before you even went to jail, is what I'm saying. I'm talking about that Gorilla Warzone. That I'm just putting everything on the table. I'm not gonna sit there and put nothing to the side because let's get it clear and let's get it understand. Like I said, with that situation was something happened behind the scenes, and I think Swat K was being messy too. But at the same time, it was some shit that was said. I said something about you, and you wouldn't say something back because he tried to say I was talking about him behind his back. Clearly, you must have said I said something behind the man back or whatever the situation was out of spite or what you
Nah,
felt.
nigga, I had a problem with them because of the fact that the judge was being biased. I don't even know what the fuck you talking about.
Well,
That was my own personal vendetta
that was,
between Guerrilla
that was the
Warzone
issue
was
with me.
because one of the battles that I had got into with them and shit, I feel like that I could have won. Now, the reason why we got kicked out the chat or whatever, I don't know what the fuck that was about. And eventually, when I got out, we spoke about it. You see what I'm saying? So we never talked then. It's basically what I'm saying. So I don't know where the fuck that's coming from, bro. Either
That
motherfuckers lying on my name as well. I don't
no,
know where
but
the fuck
you
that shit's
did
coming from.
say you because you did say you went said something about Devilino about me. You said that I went and told Devilino something about you that we had in private, and he said you came and told him something I said about him. Because when
Nigga.
he said something about I said something behind his back, I said where you get that from? See what I'm saying?
So you
Because
asked him where you get that from, and he said me.
from my
But
understanding,
these are the
if I
but these
recall,
are the same niggas that you don't fuck with anyway. You see what I'm trying to say? And I'm basically telling you that pretty much from that
this
last
at the
encounter,
time though,
after I lost that
you
battle, bro, and
yeah,
after we got kicked out of that fucking chat and shit, bro, I was pissed. There was no more talking.
right.
I have not said a word to Devilino ever
No,
since
I'm
then
not
after
saying
that.
that. I'm just saying in that particular situation when they had that big fall breakdown with the chop it up the podcast. I mean, the Battle Rap Kingdom and the Gorilla was on. We was trying to do the collab thing, and that shit happened where it just went bad. Y'all remember we was all still good. Me, you, and
The
Chief.
whole podcast thing, whatever, you
No,
was talking to him.
the league shit, not the
Yeah, the
podcast.
league shit. You was talking to him. I still never talked to him because I was still mad about motherfuckers basically saying disrespectful shit on battle rap. That's what I've been saying the whole time that everyone's not getting. And you can go back in a lot of lives and you can see that because I've been saying that.
I don't know what them niggas said. All I know the niggas said I said something about him behind his back, and
So that so
and he
that
said
one, bro,
that
you gotta take up
information
with them.
came from
You
you.
see what I'm saying?
Whatever you told him, it was supposed to be something I said behind his back, and you
I ain't
even
telling
said
shit.
what I said something about you behind your back to Devilino because you told it to me.
This first time I'm even hearing that, to
No,
be
you
real with
told
you.
me I told you something about Devilino. I mean about you to Devilino behind your back. You told me that. I don't know what it was because you never specifically said what it was, but you did say that, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
that don't even sound
him
like
to
me,
say it
bro.
came
To
from
be
that way,
real.
it makes sense. Like that, and that's my point of what I'm saying. People do shit out of spite. I don't know what the situation was or what was going on. Either, oh, like I said, all that shit water under the bridge. But before it can be water under the bridge, you got to
Well,
first put on the
I
bridge.
mean,
And that's all I.
well,
But it's really
that's kind
water
of
under the bridge. It's not that deep.
that. Well,
Um,
maybe to you, but to me, this is the first time me hearing about that, and it's like, yo, nigga, like you kind of just told me another man just pretty much just put my name into something I didn't even fucking know about. I have not spoke to since last summer, technically. You know what I mean?
it's not
And
no
other
last
than that,
summer. This was about a
no,
year.
no, no. I'm
I
telling
told
you,
you
I
about
haven't
this.
spoke to him since last summer.
Right, but I told you about this about a year and a half ago when the shit first went down with the two leagues. And he was like, "You said you did something. You said something behind my back, and it come from your people because you was mad because I told him something about you or was saying something about you to Devolino because you he must came at me about it. So that part I know wasn't fabricated about me
Then
saying
what did you say?
I
Because I don't even
kept
fucking know. That's
asking
what I'm
you, but
saying.
you
This
never
news
really
to me,
told me what I said
nigga.
about you. You just was like, yeah, you said something to Devolino about, but you never really said what I said about you to Devolino. So you did whatever you did because out of that
Okay,
situation,
that don't.
right? So
Sorry,
I
Hawklife.
don't
That
know,
don't
but
that
it's
don't
not.
make no sense, bro. Come on now.
I mean,
That
you
make no sense,
said
bro.
I,
No, I didn't.
I don't
No,
know
no.
if you say
You
anything to
can't.
Devolino, but I
Thank
know
you
you said
because
I said something about you to Devolino because you told me to
oh
help him out.
okay,
Now,
all right. Look, nigga.
now the
All
other
right.
shit, the
If I
shit I
said
don't
it,
know. The
if
other
I
half of
said it,
shit, what
you're
he's saying, I don't know. But I'm
all
saying what
right.
you told me,
But
I do know.
if I said it, I'm gonna say it. You already know that. If I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna fucking say it. Period. Regardless, I'm gonna say it.
I just wonder what the fuck did I say
So
about Evelina. But I knew what that situation was, and I told y'all. I said the situation
then, if
was
you
they was
knew, then what
jealous.
did you say?
The situation they was jealous of us. Cause everybody that they did the whole thing, he never said what it was that you said that I said about him behind his back. Cause he clearly said it came from you. I'm gonna be 100%. But like I said, I can't say that's
But
true.
you
Oh,
said that
it was
I said
on
something supposedly to you. That's why I'm getting confused.
no, you
You
said to
now,
me, wait, you said to me, see, this way you gotta listen. You said to me that I said something about you, lyric, to Devolino. That's what you told me, but you never told me what I said about you to Devolino. See what I'm getting? Because me and
no
Devolino had a
nigga.
conversation, and I think Chief was in the conversation, but you wasn't there in the chat. And I must have said something, and you took offense to it. See what I'm saying? That was the situation, and you spoke on that. Now, when he said the situation about the breakdown between the two leagues, he was saying that I had to say something behind his back, which I never had did, but he was claiming it came from people in my circle. It came from in my circle. And the only people that was in my circle at the time was you, Chief. That's where he said it came from. Now, like I said, I don't know where the
And
truth
this
is.
was back then.
Yeah, I don't know if the truth and the lies was where it was at. It was back then. This back, this past. That's why I
Yeah,
said it's
no,
not that deep.
I ain't no,
But
no.
I know that a lot of that shit happened because of Swak and niggas being jealous that our shit, that everybody that they was supposed to have on Fridays was coming to us. What a lot of people don't understand, that tearing us down, that shit was playing. People stopped showing up. People did his name. It's because niggas was behind the scene throwing salt on niggas' name. Even after y'all left, I still was trying to put battles together. Niggas still wasn't showing up. So you not telling me nothing far-fetched when you saying niggas not answering, niggas not showing up. None of that. That's not far-fetched to me. So when I'm saying shit, don't think. That's why I be trying to get people to understand. Don't think I don't take what niggas saying is valid. No, I get what you saying is valid, but what I'm also saying is I understand that because I've had to deal with it. I'm not just the owner, I'm a client. I had to deal with it.
Which you said that before,
How
but
the hair club for me and commercial go? I'm not just the owner. I'm a client. I understand. I had to go through it. I understand it's like that with some people. And some people you have to communicate with, and they have to learn how to communicate back. That's the only thing I be saying. It's a communication issue. Everybody got to learn how to fucking communicate. That's all it is to it at the end of the day. If I reach out about something, it's not for a motherfucker to have an attitude. Just communicate with, look, brother, I had this going on. I had that going on. I couldn't make it. This what I got going on. This what I got going on. But don't feel like I have to feel some type of way because you going through a situation and I'm going through a situation that's similar. If I seem like I ain't got no sympathy, I probably didn't have no fucking sympathy because I'm going through it too. So I understand I'm going through it too. How the fuck could I give you sympathy when I'm going through the same thing? But I'm making it happen either way. But I can understand everybody ain't me. Everybody ain't, we built different. Everybody ain't the same. So I can't say everybody handle this shit the same. Everybody their own person. I'm not saying nobody did nothing wrong as far as how they handled their shit, as far as their personal shit. I took accountability for what I said, and I said it because I was pissed off and I was in the moment because I felt very disrespectful and I felt like motherfuckers was not very disrespected and I felt like motherfuckers was not trying to hear what I said and it was matter of fact. I said what I said. This what it. That's how motherfucker was coming out. And you have that. People call it aura, but you have that about you at times. I said what I said. This is what it is, and I stand on it. That's cool. You say what you say. As your mouth, you can say what you want. That don't mean I have to receive it that way. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a lot of times that's why I say it's not what people say, it's how they say it. We all going through shit. I didn't come on there and intend to take my problems out on y'all, and I'm pretty sure y'all didn't come on there to try to take y'all problems out on me. It happened.
No, we
It
didn't.
is.
That's why we wanted to take a break. Was because we knew that you had a nephew that you just lost, and we said that whether or not you want to be truthful or not, we said we should take a break. And I was going through what I was going through,
Like I said, I was in that moment all over.
and
Saying,
that
yeah,
was one of the reasons
everybody,
for me was because I needed that break. I needed that time. I needed time to recover because I damn sure worked third, whether or not if you realize it or not. So a lot of times for me showing up, you know what I mean, was a little later. Maybe you don't remember that. A lot, but I was there, was the point I'm making. The only thing I'm basically saying is I wanted credibility and I wanted respect as far as me also being there. You're saying I wasn't there. You're saying like as far as on wax, like this and everything else stuff. I'm like, nah, wait a minute. Nah, you know what I mean? Like I stayed up plenty nights, you know what I mean? Plenty nights. I was only getting like 2 days of sleep. So to a lot of niggas, I was not even responding to back then. And
that's
that was two
what
niggas.
I'm
Hold
saying.
on,
When
hold
niggas say
on.
you
That
wasn't
was two
doing
niggas like Devolino and everybody else because they was pretty much like I just didn't have time for it. I didn't have time for like doing features, making music, and everything else. But when it was on wax and shit, I was in there. I still got the chat, although I got kicked out of it. But I
it.
still
I ain't
can
want
see
to
the
say too
things in
much
there.
about the other situation. Actually, we're gonna talk about that other situation that I had that little flash on. That had nothing to do specifically. One part of, we'll talk about it off stream, but let me get ready in the stream. But let me say this for clarity for everybody out there that's watching and listening and understanding. This how two grown men handle their business. This the way you conduct yourselves. Everything don't have to be disrespectful. Everything don't have to be violence talk. Cause half of the motherfuckers that act tough on here ain't really tough for real. See what I'm saying? But like I said, again, to those not allow my that shit water on the bridge, but to those out there that feel the need to keep on. I seen since I made this comment a while back. Motherfuckers ain't been doing it, but I'm gonna reiterate it because some people stuck on stupid. Watch what you say about me, because if I can't punch you in your mouth, I'm going in your pockets. I'm letting you
Well,
know.
look,
You know,
I just,
it's
I
not
just want to
nothing
say
to solve.
this
It's just
before you end the live. You know what I mean? I agree with you. Two grown men should be able to talk like this as well. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
at the same time, for those that are in battle rap world and shit, bro, like yo, cool. Y'all want to do personals and shit? Do that shit. That's battle rap world, whatever. But if you're doing music and shit, keep that personal shit out, bro. If you're doing podcasts and shit, don't speak on nobody's life. Like, don't do it, bro. Like, you never know what mental any artist or anybody is in just to put out contents for their fans or just to, you know what I mean? Like
Shit
I
happened
said
for a
before,
reason. Cause I feel like if I went and spoke over nigga when them came out of it as a man, shit happened for a reason. Sometimes you got to
that
go
is
through that.
true.
You know, there's certain questions I want to ask, and I can guarantee it's probably ain't been a lot of that because at that time they came out that mental state and you feel like they had to change. The other sometimes the tough, like I said, the tough shit be the shit that change motherfuckers for the better. Sometimes motherfuckers saying some shit that you don't want to hear gonna change you for the better. I've been around motherfuckers with a lot of shit going on. Just had a whole episode about mental health, men's mental health and awareness. This shit I take serious. You know, like to speak on it, and the emotions not valid, this, that, and the third. I had conversations about this shit. So when I say it, I don't say it out of I say it out of a place where it's like, motherfucker, you shouldn't be doing that. For you, that's weird to be doing because you the motherfucker that comes around and acts like everything okay. So when a motherfucker seeing the person that's laughing every day hurting the most, there's a situation where that becomes a problem. People got to understand that. So at the end of the day, again, I'm the type of person I'm not gonna be your yes, man, I'm gonna be the motherfucker that's gonna tell you right. Cause if anything, I'm gonna see a motherfucker win before I'm gonna see a motherfucker lose. And going down a path like that, the only
So
thing
you
you,
speaking in general?
huh?
Are you
Yeah,
speaking in general?
I'm
Okay, all right,
speaking to you.
yeah. I definitely
So
understand
I'm
that.
saying
But also too,
everybody.
like, sometimes a person that's carried on a smile and shit, you know what I mean, they could be hurt in the inside. You never know,
That's what I just said.
perspectively. Yeah, yeah,
Just
I agree. You know what I mean? Like you never know what anybody's going through, you know what I mean? And right now we're living in a time in this world where, all of us, like I see everybody preaching about coming together, unity and this, that, whatever, you know what I mean? But like there's a lot more steps to get to that. You know what I mean? And this is one of the steps to get to that. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? And this is what that looks like, pretty much. So at the end of the day, this ain't us arguing. This ain't us going back and forth or whatever. This is just us just clearing the water. This us just basically like getting that off because you can't be sincere and you can't move on unless you get it off of your soul and your mental.
exactly. I'm not gonna sit there and sugarcoat it.
So
I got motherfuckers I done did shit in the
at the
morning. I'm not if they wrong, I'm gonna tell them they wrong. I'm not gonna, I'm just that type of person. I'm 100% stand up. I don't have time to sit there and make you think, the end all be all. Cause I refuse to let a nigga that's around me be lost. Period.
and that's why I always said, be careful who you playing with because some people is really on that time. And obviously you see two people on this podcast right now really on that time. You see what I'm saying? And it's the fact that, sometimes you have the wrong people that suffer because of things like this, you know what I mean? And they can't pretty much like get right to pretty much make these things right.
Yeah,
And that just pretty much shows how powerful that the internet is, how powerful that what you speak out of your tongue comes out, it's influent, it's what I'm looking for, influent, you know what I'm trying to say,
yeah,
influence, you know what I mean, like like when you persuading people are influential, you know what I mean, so you
absolutely.
know
People that a lot of
if,
that brought in ego for motherfuckers out of there, brought in all that other shit. And like I say, with the Gorilla Wild, the Gorilla Wars on shit, they just was jealous at the fact that we was popping off. We had got successful. We went on a run. We was having freestyles every week. People was packing it out. They wasn't getting nobody. Then you get motherfuckers acting femalish like Swaki and Devilino is saying shit. And then you got a nigga like Devilino that
And
don't
then
have
you got women's that's exposing themselves just to help give them,
I
contents,
done heard shit
views, and
about him.
followers and stuff. You know what I mean?
That
Like,
he must got no good taste.
women's, y'all,
Right.
y'all are important.
He
Y'all
ain't
are
got no
important as
good taste
well.
in women. That nigga
Y'all,
here, he done hit the worst women. I done heard some shit about
my
him.
sisters,
That's why
women's,
he
you know what
been
I mean?
bullied.
Like, you don't have to do the things that you're doing, you know what I mean? Just to get that type of exposure or everything else, you know what I mean? Like, your creativity is important.
Yeah,
Your creativity, does matter. You as yourself does matter as well. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like you're gonna be surrounded by many people that's gonna want to see you lose. You know what I mean? But sometimes as individual as people that we are that works either 9 to 5 or whatever that you do, you know what I mean, like it's hard to find words that describe certain moments on how you feel and everything else, but just don't give up, just keep trying, you know what I mean, because at the end of the day that's all that matter. So
yeah. I agree with all that, man. Like I said, most of the shit, like I said, all that shit is. I ain't gonna say more. I'm gonna say all that shit. Um, Word on the bridge from this point on. I feel like everything is a bit of moving forward. Um, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna keep dwelling on the same shit. I said how I feel, and that's what's generally on my heart. And I
and I
said,
said how I feel, which was generally on my heart as well, you know
mm,
what I mean.
so I
So
left it at that and kind of, you know what I'm saying? It bothers me. It's gonna bother me because the type of person I am. So it's
yeah,
gonna
time
bother.
heals.
So, but at the same time, with this music shit, it's all inclusive. So I see people in the comments saying motherfuckers shouldn't be here. Motherfuckers clouding for views. Um, Shit like that. I ain't really entertained. I ain't really speak on it. I didn't even much put them in the live or nothing like that. So the check it being there, I didn't entertain it because that's not what this was for. Um, And honestly, those situations need to be hashed out. Really, to be honest, because I mean, it ain't really ain't getting nowhere. I mean, besides some music coming out of it and motherfucker going back and forth. I mean, what is it doing for the artist as an artist? Really, how is it evolving in music? Really, and it's like 9 out of 10 is like some of these situations shocking. Like the situation with distraction, because like I said, I thought that shit was cool. But anyhow, before we get out here, the surprise and the notation for everybody, if you're still watching, is uh Chop It Up the Podcast Media, Battle Rap Kingdom, and Who They Want presents, well, with special guest Who They Want presents um Versus
No,
Underground.
it's
Because
yeah,
Versus
yeah, yeah,
Underground is my
yeah.
shit. And he did put it in his flyer without accent. That's not cool.
Wait,
He put in
hold
that
on.
Versus Underground.
It's our shit, so it's cool. It's all right because we with him as well. You know what I
Technically
mean?
it's mine.
So
It's technically it's mine. Legally it's mine. So when I say that the correct thing was to make sure he had clearance. Cause legally it's mine. Y'all keep forgetting what I'm saying. Everything on my platform is legal now. Branded and legal. Y'all helped build it, true enough, and I still give y'all credit. But legally is the right way to do things. You shouldn't have did it that way. But I'm not offended by it because that lets me know, and I say this in many other lies, even with my tap in and all that shit. And I see people using that shit, man, tap in, such, or whatever. The song wars, everybody want to do a song war. They biting off our shit. People were arguing, say they was doing this, doing
yeah,
that, and doing the fuck you was.
that's
You know what I'm saying? I just had this argument with somebody last night on
yeah.
the
We
talking about
we
he was
we
doing this in the pandemic. No, you were not. When I started doing this, nobody was doing this on Facebook. Nobody. And Chief and them, my witness, Lyric, my witness, when we started doing this, was nobody doing this. So people can stop saying they ain't biting off of this platform. Again, they are part of this platform, even though I'm saying
it's also
behind it,
okay.
they are
Yeah,
this
but at the
platform. So you
same
saying it's
time,
cool, it's cool. That's why I say it's cool. But understand
yeah,
that
yeah,
y'all could have handled
it
this.
is cool because at the
Yeah,
same time, bro, we three of us made it, just like you said earlier.
no,
It's right. It's right.
it's
It's
cool.
right.
It's
It's
cool
right.
because y'all
We're just gonna just.
saying it's
But
cool,
anybody
but it's
else,
still legally. If I wanted to be a fucked up person about it, legally, as if he would have done it and y'all wasn't a part of it, then it would have been fucked up. You get what I'm saying?
okay. Well, come on, man.
I'm keeping it honest. Y'all wasn't
This
in,
is.
if
Come on.
y'all wasn't
This
in, this
this
is what
like
I'm
going
saying. If y'all
backwards
wasn't in the
now.
battle, this is what I'm
Come
saying.
on,
Say
man.
if he would
Come
have had
on,
a
come
battle,
on.
no, you gotta listen
This
to
is
what
like going backwards now
no, it's not going back.
because
It's not.
yeah, it
Point
kind of
everything
is
on
a
the
little
table.
bit.
This has nothing to do with y'all. I'm just saying in general. Because I got some issues with him too. I done reached out to bruh for a lot of shit and
Who
brought
DJ
it up.
Steady?
Yes, and he ignored me. Yes. And I feel
Okay,
like, but at the same time, I'm showing niggas the character, and it shows in my character. Niggas really don't fuck with me, gang, and it shows in my character. But I still do shit off the strength. You know what I'm saying? And that's why this brings a lot of validation to a lot of shit that I be saying. Niggas really don't fuck with me, gang. Literally. And I started to see this over the last couple of years. And maybe it's my own, it ain't no delusion. Maybe it's my own thought process, but it's not. It's what niggas done showed me. I was always telling motherfuckers show you their hand, believe them. Period. When they show you who they are, you believe that. Because I done reached out to bruh plenty of times before this for shit. And one thing about Facebook, this how I know a lot of motherfuckers see shit that you send them and don't respond, but they fail to realize when they look at it, they fucking pictures show up on their text message. So that means they saw it. See what I'm saying? And to be disrespectful enough to not really much respond multiple times. See what I'm saying?
okay. Well,
That's what I'm saying.
that's I'm
You know what I'm
confused on that
saying?
one.
I know.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of confused on that one. But if we're talking about legally, as far as like that or whatever, you know what I mean? Technically,
Legally,
I
I
mean,
could have been fucked up, but because
uh,
it's legally mine. But
legally, if we wanted to, we could also take it to court and stuff.
you can take it
And
to court, but it's
three
never
of us could
y'all
actually get a
gotta pay for
split
what
from
y'all
that
I mean, y'all gotta have
because
proof that y'all
there,
created Y'all
Oh
made
yeah, there's proof. There's proof.
that's not proof.
There's
There's proof
proof.
that y'all was a part of it. It was proof that
No,
he came up with the
there.
idea of
It
Nate
happened. It
versus
happened in our
Underground. He
messenger,
came up with the
and
four
we called each other that
put everything
morning.
together.
And it was
Cool. But
after
I
the
made
whole
it
Snoop
legally.
Dogg.
Legally standing,
And
you have to have some type of proof that you're legally, not the conversation. I'm talking legally. When
there
I'm
are
talking
ways
paper, I'm
around
not
that. You do
talking
know that, right?
about a screenshot of
There are ways around that. You do know that, right? And you also
hey,
acknowledged it.
I didn't know I did not. I tell them motherfucker good luck.
Okay. All right.
It was
Okay. All
real.
right. Legally, remember that. Legally. Okay.
Illegally.
Cool. Okay. All right. All right.
What I will say is this.
Okay.
I didn't say nothing was wrong
Ass
with
cap,
it.
bro. Ass
No,
cap.
no. Go for it. All
Okay.
I'm saying
All right.
is I'm not all I'm saying is
But all I'm saying is that it's right.
I
Because
didn't
even still, if you have three people, even still, it should be
you missed
blessed to
the
the
point.
point of
I didn't say it wasn't right. I said if it was a situation where y'all wasn't
yeah,
involved, I wasn't involved, and he would have used the name, then it would have been a problem.
no, it still wouldn't have been. Because even still by
Does not have a
okay,
right to use something that I own
legally, right? Legally. Okay, all
legally.
right.
You can't
Okay,
just
all
say
right.
somebody can call this shit
Okay,
versus underground.
all
Are you
right.
crazy?
Okay,
Something would have been
all
wrong
right.
with that.
Okay,
If you we
all
was
right.
y'all wasn't involved and I wasn't involved and somebody just used our shit and called it versus underground. Are you crazy? Then,
Okay.
and then I'm telling you legally, I got all the paperwork, branding, all that on it. That's patent, all that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Crazy.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but by y'all
Ass
being
cap.
involved,
Okay.
you can say ass cab all you want. By y'all being involved, I'm
No,
cool
not
with it.
ass cap as in like that's
No, I know what
cap.
you say
No.
ASCAP. I know what you're talking about. I don't know why
Yeah.
y'all think I'm
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah. There's royalties.
That's
There's
royalties. He
royalties.
don't have none.
Legally. Okay. All right.
He don't have
Okay.
any. He didn't have no
Okay.
directions towards what we built. That's what
No,
I'm
not
talking about.
him. Not him, but
I'm
okay.
not.
All
That's
right.
what I'm talking about. That's
Okay.
why I kept saying if we wasn't a part of it and he would have used it, he'd have been dead wrong. That's what I'm saying. If none of us would
No.
have been part of it and he would have just
Okay.
now
All
you
right.
get it.
All right.
That's why I be saying you don't
Okay.
really
All
be
right. All right. My
listening.
bad. That went over my head. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm
My
saying.
bad. My bad. You see what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
admit when I'm
I
wrong.
wasn't
You see what I'm saying?
blindsided by it or nothing.
Okay.
He
All right.
didn't call he called it
All right.
first underground at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't blindsided or nothing about it. I saw that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
And
it should be. It's the original. We're going based off the original formula. It
when
should
we had
be.
the main
It should be real.
conversation, I didn't know how shit was going. I didn't know we was gonna call it that. I went on here. I knew I was gonna call it that on my end. I didn't know
Yeah.
because they
That's cool.
judge. But there's no here there.
I
Back
just can't wait for it to happen. That's all,
all
man.
I know is supposed to
I just
be
can't wait.
the verse is supposed to be uh Almighty Shop versus Lyric Lyra. For some reason, it was supposed to be in the Almighty Gang versus Loud Mob. That didn't happen. They didn't do it as a group, so they're doing a single. Um,
It was supposed to happen a
also,
year ago.
let me point this out. Also,
It was supposed to happen a year ago. I just want to note that as well.
a year ago on my platform, it probably did. I don't remember. It
No,
probably
no, no, no.
okay.
Well, I mean, at the time, we wasn't even on speaking terms.
Right, I about to say I don't
Yeah,
think it was my
yeah,
platform. I ain't want to say that, and then
yeah,
motherfucker be like, "Yeah, you said." No. I
yeah.
thought
No,
that
no,
was
no, no,
supposed to
no.
be my platform.
Hawklife was not even involved in that one.
All right,
Yeah, no.
but like I said, it was not them Loudmouth that reached out to me. It was Shock that reached out to me. First of all, that's how this conversation came about. Shock reached out to me. Shock reached out to me. So this was not a let's reconcile and do something. This was Shock reaching out to me and then me saying the only way I'm gonna do business with y'all is if we sit at the table first. Period. So let's clear that up. So nobody reached out to me to settle this. This was right here. This here was my doing and us agreeing to do this.
I appreciate that, bro.
Right. So let's say that because people, I don't want the narratives to be thrown out there, and none of that. We
And you
don't
know
want
they will. And you know they will too.
exactly.
Motherfuckers so quick they got typing
Still
fingers
shocked that
nowadays, bro.
even, and I'm gonna say this. That's why it's crazy. Y'all must have was falling out around the time he was in hospital. Cause I'm not gonna lie, the only person
In the
that
hospital.
cared about when he whatever he had going on, he went MIA. The only person that I seen that physically said something about Shock, and it's just to be honest, and it's not to put no stir in the water, but I mean it would make the bad answer. But the only person I think that actually said something about Shock being MIA at the time when he was going through what he was going through, and I can't remember. I know for sure it was nobody from Loudmouth. I know it was nobody from Almighty. It was somebody that was least expected that said something. Maybe it was Mexico Shorty. I'm not sure, but that was the only person that said something about whatever Shock had going on at the time, which seemed like a mental breakdown. Um,
Yeah, he was in rehab. Yeah,
yeah. So, and I
yeah.
know that was the only person that said
I
something about it.
I
And
did spoke about that actually. I did, and that was before we had a falling out. I did,
now I'm talking
and
last time I think.
that
Oh,
was last year.
yeah.
It was last year. It was around the time where I just got out. Actually, me and Shock was on good terms, but what happened was Shock was basically trying to rekindle me and you together. That's how we also fell out. Was because he was like, "Nah, I want to see us all win this and third dog dog." That whole text message and shit. I just told him pretty much like, "Yo, we're not on speaking terms. You know, I don't want to talk to Hawklyfe. Let it be as that." But he
I
kept going
think he
around.
reached out to me about it.
Yeah.
And
So
I at the time I was like, I don't know, you
and
know.
then he spazzed off on me, telling me something, why can I not be friends with him? And I just pretty much told him like, hey, if you want to be friends with him, that's on you. You can be
That's
friends with whoever
better.
that you
I'm
want
glad
to.
you
You know
said
what I
that.
mean?
I'm glad
Like
you
I really don't care. Like, you know, at that point in time, like I was doing my music, I was focused on my life, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so and then, you know, I mean, there was a lot of things that happened, a lot of things that Shock said as well, you know what I mean? And when he kind of took it overboard on that point, you know what I mean? Like we started dissing, but Shock dissed first, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I
But
understand why Shock said that. But I that's I've been in situations, and I think that's a lot of what happened with the Battle of Kingdom. I,
I was
I
just pretty much just
I feel
letting
like
time
a lot of
heal.
people was behind the scenes working on my downfall. A lot of people aligned themselves with my enemies. A lot of people sit there and keeping
What
out
do
the
you
battle on my platform.
what do you mean?
I'm just general statement. I'm saying
Are
why
you are, are you
Battle Rap
are you
Kingdom fizzled the way it did.
are you talking about
Battle Rap Kingdom.
us?
Um,
You gotta be specific, you know what I
no,
mean?
I am
Like
being specific. I'm saying a lot
because
of
you
because I'm
oh okay.
saying that because I can't pinpoint one person or another, but I know it's a lot of people because it got to a point where peoples are just coming to chat and say they want battle. Time for the battle. There's no conversation. There's no communication. There's nothing. Van Moose in the air. Intentionally taking battles they know they wasn't gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Just it was a lot of
It
intense
was a lot of that.
shit going
It
on,
was.
and it
And it
was
was annoying. It was annoying. And it
this
was
was
hard to
after
work
all
around
that.
that.
Though. This was after all that. After y'all left, all that it still was going on.
Damn, that sucks, man.
It was a lot of that going on, and that's been the problem. That's why I kind of retired from battling and also not really running the league, but retired from battling. And the reason I did that because I needed a break from battle rap, period. And I felt like because when I came back and was coming out of retirement tour, but wound up being a retirement tour halfway through, was because I was gone for a minute after my nephew situation. I wasn't battling. I had mentally I was shut down. I wasn't doing too much of nothing. So it was like, and y'all gonna check the record. It was at a point where I wasn't really doing shit. I was at a nice blank spot for a minute before I had the award show. Um, the whole point in a nutshell with that situation, that's why I said what I said. Now I don't want people to take it the one way I'm talking about them. I'm making a specific comment towards them. I'm making a general statement. When I say that, I feel like when it comes to me, people's going the extra mile to fuck over me every time. It's like, but they're mum about other niggas. There's proof that's out how you go from having two motherfucking child battery charges to plead down to some misdemeanor shit. Clearly you played it down. You know what I'm saying? And it shows, and y'all still sat there and was quiet about the shit. But that's no here or there. But that's why I'm in the mode that I'm in
Two
now.
child what?
Long story short, you gotta check out that video what about the triple OG shit. It was some situation where he had got two charges for something. He was supposed to have done molested his daughter or some shit like that, some wild shit, right? And the charges got played down to some shit that didn't make no sense. That had nothing to do with the original charges. From what his paperwork said, from the other paperwork, and his paperwork was two different things. And the funny thing about it, the mother of the child was actually in the comments saying he did the shit. See what I'm saying? And saying that other people told her that he did the shit. You know what I'm saying? And they kept it quiet, very fucking quiet. But everybody want to crucify me. They, you know what I'm saying? For the last 2 years, motherfuckers been trying to crucify me, trying to stop my shit from popping. You know what I'm saying? From doing this, from doing that. Niggas don't want to see me win. So I'm not gonna surround myself with motherfuckers that don't want to see me win. I done had battles where I done cooked and niggas still sit there and say I done lost.
Oh
Literally,
yeah, I feel that because I feel the same way when I
right.
I feel the same way when people tell me that I'm trash or I'm ass, and I work hard on my craft. You know what I mean? Like there's moments in time, like I said, like
That's one thing
you
to say
know,
ass, but
regardless,
I kicked
regardless,
their ass. Don't show
reg-
favoritism for a nigga because
reg-
that's your friend and your partner. That's what most of them do. They go with their friends and shit so they can have.
here's something with me. Like now, I'm just gonna be real. You know what I mean? Like I work hard for my music. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like my image, as far as my image, the way how I connect with my fans, the way how I connect with everybody, even artists that I feature with, even the time and passionately. Hell, people don't talk to me about their personal shit. I still never get up on here and address their personal shit. You know what I mean? Like
there's a lot.
I kept it solid. You know what I mean? Like I kept it literally solid. And then for the fact of people want to talk about some my music like this, my music like this, or if it's AI or like what I mean, like motherfuckers going back and forth between both people. And there's a moment where I was quiet as well. I kind of felt like how you was. I felt my peace. I feel like what I mean. I felt
Yeah,
my
I had to
peace.
definitely find
I
my.
was
I
I
had
was
to
starting
be
to
alone.
feel like I was myself again, even after the shit that I went through. And then getting back into the mix, and then like motherfuckers still like, yo, half y'all motherfuckers troll too much, and y'all don't realize that when y'all trolling and y'all playing a part of a serious situation, it makes y'all look bad. You know what I mean? And not even knowing about the situation, not even knowing about how, I'm not talking about Hawk Life. I'm not talking about, I'm just saying in generally, you know what I mean?
But
Like
niggas
you
think
do have
people do
you,
shit knowing that people
yeah,
say shit on the internet and run with it, and that's
yeah, you know what I mean? And
people ain't
then
gonna never try to
and
figure it
then
out.
it's like,
Especially if they don't like you, they don't give a fuck if it's true or false. But let it be
but
somebody
then
like they gonna try to go for them to the back, knowing that the shit right in their face. And that's why
but the
it's
wrong shit,
really
half
quiet.
of y'all clout chase in the wrong shit, and it shows it clear as day that y'all are clout chasing. And then to the people that work so hard for their craft, or the people that work so hard to give artists this platform, or artists that works with other artists, and people saying it's hard to work with this and the third and whole nine yards and stuff. And then the audacity to put other people mix into this and that, the whole nine yards, and then that's always say like it's secrets. Like there's always secrets. That's always say like, yo, half of the receipts are looking back. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of individuals don't want to look back, so they try to move forward, and then they try to put the blame on other people, thinking that they're safe until a point of time where something blows up in the air, and it's like, oh shit, how I gotta deal with this because they either never been in that situation before. You know what I mean? And I got to agree with Hawk Life on something he said earlier. You know what I mean? Certain situations do help you have like a thicker skin and everything else. But damn, like that's why I always say there's content sometimes that people miss, and there's contents that sometimes people miss to grab, or you know what I mean, because these are things that can actually help as far as another artist's life or another person's life, or you know what I mean, like life's is choice of decision, like I said. You know what I mean, like you can learn from other people's mistakes and everything. You know what I mean, like this for instance, like us, being on here, talking it out and everything. Half of y'all motherfuckers don't even got the balls to even do that. Half y'all motherfuckers can't even step forward to even take that initial step to move forward to even do that. You know what I mean? So the way how I see it is, a lot of people like they're behind me. I'm not even looking at them. I'm still focused. I'm still looking at that tunnel, and I'm still trying to get to the end of that tunnel to see where how bright that light is or where my future goes. You know what I mean? So it's just on some shit where it's like, half of y'all, I deal with y'all when I deal with y'all. You know what I mean? Like shit, we gonna meet again. We gonna see each other again. You know what I mean? And half of y'all know what the fuck it is. That's what it is. And those that never did anything, to me or to anything else like that, whatever, you know what I mean? Like y'all know what it is. I fuck with y'all. But at the same time, like, I
Yeah,
agree. Like it's hard when you're trying to defend either your name or your life and everything else. That's why I wanted to point out, like, hey, look, as far as my diss, whatever, you know what I mean. I wanted to point that out. You know what I mean? Just for the record, like, look, like that was before then. That was before all of this. You know what I mean? I wish I could have spoke on that a little more, but I don't. I don't want to touch up on it a little more. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, cool, whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Sometimes you gotta learn when to just to listen sometimes, and you gotta learn when to just
Hey,
to like drop shit. But at the same time, like
I mean, that's all it take at the end of the day. Motherfucker, to listen and have an open mind. It ain't always about what motherfucker think it should be or what it could be. At the end of the day, it's what it is, and that's the only thing I can speak on. How this shit is like. I don't fuck with him, so I feel. Excuse me. I don't fuck with him,
yeah,
so I feel like 1,000. You shouldn't fuck with him. At the end of the day,
hey, you fuck
I
with whoever you fuck with.
fuck with who
That's on you.
I
Yeah,
don't. Let me clarify this. This for the motherfuckers who taking shit and running with it, but I know why. Because a lot of motherfuckers in the battle rap world don't like me because I'ma say my shit and say how I feel and this and that. Every league act like they got a problem with me for some motherfucking reason. Well, I know me and Time Bland squashed out our shit, boys. Shout out to boys. I know Devlin on them always until for somebody and they riding the coattails of somebody. Now they riding the coattails of Street Talk. They try to keep Warzone relevant when they ain't been relevant in I don't know how fucking long. Anyway, but no here, no there. Not not dissing nobody, just calling a spade a spade. Um, there is
I
no
don't know
relevant than
anything
I
about
am.
that.
None of these other leagues ain't no relevant than I am at this point. You know what I'm saying? I stepped away specifically because I felt like I was being treated as the outcast. I was being treated unfairly, and the disrespect had to stop. Period. That was the point I found my peace. Cause that's what I had to let go to find my peace in that moment. Um I had a rematch in what's my boy shit rap zone and hill shit on one of the newer leagues. That's why I find it funny with all these other leagues they get a little success and think they the shit. You only got that success and was able to infiltrate what we had going on Facebook because you dangled money in front of people's face. You know what I'm saying? So of course they gonna act like they ride or die because you giving them a few dollars. And if niggas do more for less, yeah, you think you thinking a few dollars, but you don't think niggas will sell their mama out for a few dollars. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
look,
Nobody
the only thing I'm coming from, man, is this. You know what I mean? Like, look, regardless of the situation and fact, you know what I mean? Like, look, when it
do.
comes to the battle rap world, whatever, y'all motherfuckers that got my name in y'all mouth and shit, yo, tell it to me in my face. Other than that, half y'all niggas punk bitch ass made motherfuckers. I said it and I stand on it. That's what it
I
is.
don't
You know what I
disagree with
mean?
the bills. Like I ain't
It's
even
always
like
been like that.
I ain't even no time
Second,
touring like
hold
that.
on.
They can call
That's
me.
that's just me.
We
Secondly, you know what I mean? Like, look, all right. Like, I don't really fuck with nobody like that. I make my music, I focus on my music, and I'm in tune with my life. I got a lot of shit going on than to be really fucking with half y'all motherfuckers like that. You know what I mean? And those that did talk to me every day or used to talk to me every day, they know the real me. They can tell you that for us themselves. If you would have asked them, they'll tell you. You know what I mean? As
real.
far as that, you know what I mean? When it comes to music and shit, those that's hating, keep hating. I love the hate. I say in my music, keep hating. Um, as far as like the beef with me and Hawklyfe, whatever, like look, that's under the bridge, whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I ain't under the bridge. Like I said, check
it's
us out
whatever.
Thursday, January,
Um,
Thursday, June, sorry, Thursday, June 28th, 28th.
far as shock, I'm ready to see what that's gonna be about. I just wanna just get this out, then
Show
I'm
up,
done and you
nigga.
can have the floor. You know
Show
what I
up,
mean?
nigga. Don't be all
Um,
chatting and then don't show up, niggas. Show up.
what else?
Take your shit. That's another
Motherfuckers that's saying that this is for clout, whatever. Half y'all motherfuckers do everything for clout. That's just what it is. And not even
I
that,
agree.
like for the other side of the bad rap and shit,
Like
get
y'all,
some real fucking judges. Get some real fucking judges to really judge
y'all
something. You know what I mean? That's why half of the people don't want to do the shit they doing, or they don't really find no passion in it no more. It's because I mean, like, yo, it's supposed to
and the
be a
judges be
sport,
so
not
biased.
to ruin people's life. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
yo,
we ain't
come
got
on,
no
bro. Like,
judges, but everybody in there saying I love the train.
what the fuck we doing? You know what I mean? What the fuck we doing? You know? Like I've been
Like,
saying this for the longest as well. You know what I mean?
yeah, that should just be weird. Like
Yeah,
I
like a lot of y'all niggas doing some weird ass shit
said,
to be real with you, you know, like and then the fact like half y'all niggas got the time, like have half y'all niggas like got the time to keep doing the shit what y'all doing. Like half y'all niggas be on the internet all day, every fucking day and shit. Like y'all ain't got no fucking job and shit. That's
they
just the truth of
definitely
the
don't.
matter of this shit. You know what I mean? Like, come
Gleefully,
on, nigga.
I ain't gonna talk
Like
about
come
Josh.
on,
I ain't gonna
like
talk about Ghost Josh.
that's sad. You know what I mean?
Niggas jumping league
Um
to league and shit. Nigga thought
like now I'm just gonna say whatever the fuck I've been wanting to say because I've been wanting to say shit for the longest and apparently motherfuckers got my name in their mouth anyway. Half y'all niggas act like hoes and half y'all hoes just want fucking followers and y'all exposing yourself and y'all doing the most and please stay away from them bitches, please do. They disgusting, they probably got something, whatever.
because I
Like it
mean,
is what it
we
is, you know
already
what I
say
mean?
the big
Like
people
me, hate me, I don't give a fuck. It is
niggas
what it is. You know what I
wild.
mean? At the end of the day, y'all niggas ain't gonna do shit anyway.
Nah,
Um,
wild, man. Niggas out here
other
see
than that, you know, like I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And the team gonna keep doing what they doing. We doing fine. That's all that matter. You know, we choose to do this because we want to do this. You know what I mean? And this is what it looks like when you're getting everything off your chest. You know what I mean? Like sometimes everything don't gotta be smoking shit. You know what I mean? I feel that, you know, but sometimes it's about just looking another man in the face and just saying exactly what the fuck you want to say. And in that moment of time, you will know whether or not it's still smoke or it ain't smoke or it ain't worth it or it's still worth it. That's just is what it is. You know what I mean? Half y'all niggas don't got real content or real actual emotion like this or real like something that is real and
not to
authentic
cut
like
you off,
this.
but I noticed somebody particular in the chat, and I'm not gonna say his name or give him no clout, but I find it funny, and this is what I mean when I say motherfuckers live for chaos and drama. Cause that particular person, I recall me out of sending him uh an invite for an interview or something. And let me be clear, let me make sure. Cause I don't want to say shit and then be wrong. Okay,
Was I
yeah, I
involved
see.
in it or was I not?
No, 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 no. What I was about to say, motherfuckers like to get on here and talk shit. Now, this was back in November 2024. You know, I keep records. I just so happened to look at it and I knew I wasn't tripping. Matter of fact, motherfuckers sent me some music way back then, right? Told them about the verses shit. Nigga never signed up. Da 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 da. Not gonna point out who, but I haven't heard from the nigga since 2024, November
2024. Do I
20.
know him?
You know him. He in the comments talking shit right now. He been
I
talking.
can't even see the comments, bro.
No, because I don't have him up there, but he been talking shit. Actually, he under some of y'all. You ain't Shaka
Write
back.
it, write it, write it, write it, write it in this chat. You know what I'm trying to say? Like in the private section or whatever, you
But
know?
I just find it funny that show you that people. That's what people come on here for. I've never seen him hit me up for an interview, promote his music. I never seen. Yeah, I find it crazy. Nigga ain't trying to get in the versus tournament to get his music out or nothing. But you on here and everybody else mix. Cause I don't even know if your name was much mentioned, but you hearing everybody else.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. That nigga, bro, that nigga is a fucking nobody, bro. Like,
Yeah, I
bro,
just ain't
like
here to troll. I just
th-
ain't. But I don't want
they
to say.
just they just trolling, bro. Like, you know, and that's the shit that I be meaning, you know what I mean? And it's sad because, you know, half the people, him particularly, will never admit to the fact that they was involved in a situation and something happened. You know what I mean? Like that's how you know when a man cannot really like face it. Like, bro, how do you even look yourself in the mirror? You know what I mean? But like that's just how you know that people gonna hate regardless. You know what I mean? And that's why I say and I do the shit that I do
Oh
is
yeah, I do.
because sometimes you gotta look yourself in the mirror and you just gotta say, I don't give a fuck anymore. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like that's just the only truth. Like I don't give a fuck anymore. So when it comes to that nigga, like, bro, if it like he's been saying for so long, like I'm trash, I'm this, I'm that. Well, whatever, nigga. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, you're the one that's hating the most. You look like Britney Spears cutting her fucking hair off. Like, you want attention. You know what I mean? And it's like, I give you attention when I want to give you attention, like my pet, my dog. Right now, you are not my pet. So you're not getting no clout, you're not getting no attention. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. And half the times I feel like exactly how you said earlier. Sometimes people don't like the way how I talk or how I address certain situations or how I, go about things. And it's like, okay, cool. Some things are not meant to be understood. You know what I mean? Some things are
I
not.
mean, you
And
can
to
like, but don't try to tear me down, tear my shit down. Because when you go to fucking with my brand, that's where we got a problem at. I'm a TikTok affiliate. I'm a Twitch affiliate. I'm a Facebook. I'm monetized on Facebook. I'm monetized on
Well,
all
I don't know what you mean about fucking with your brain, but like nobody's supposed to
brand.
fuck with your brain. Oh, brand. Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, when you go to
Yeah,
fuck
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah,
brand
yeah.
and you
True, true.
bottom
Facts. You
line,
know what I mean?
that's when
And that's
it becomes too much. That's why I said once a nigga lay it down on the table, defending himself, woo de woo, I shouldn't have to bring it up again. And I know it's gonna be some people that don't know, but for them to bring it up, somebody have to tell it to them. See what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, for that person that don't even much know me to say that, and that caused a whole rift between me and that person. That's why we wound up better. I really didn't want better. I really wanted to punch him in his mouth, but I found out he was pussy anyway because he got beat up in his hometown and ran up the street. Didn't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? But these the niggas that come on in that nerd ass white boys and nerd ass motherfuckers who was not even much real in school, was pussy in school, got punked every day, won't come
hey,
on.
the way I see it. I mean, you already spoke on it. You already said it. You know what I mean? You already said it for its way it is. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it is
motherfuckers
what it
knew.
is.
You know what I mean? Like shit.
But yeah,
Like
like I said, man, June 28th, tap in versus underground. I'm gonna holler at lyric. Oh, 'cause we been on here 2.5 hours. I'm gonna holler about that
yeah, fuck
situation
yeah.
that I had the little mental thing about. It wasn't really a mental, it was just me saying what the fuck I had to say. But I'm gonna
No, you
explain that
good.
situation further off cam. But like I said, if you tuned in, be tuned in then on this platform, and I'm assuming who they want. I don't know which one is gonna use the streaming software and add our
Both.
to it.
Y'all
No,
both gonna be using.
I'm gonna add the channel to the other
Oh,
person's.
okay.
That's what I'm saying. So that way we both on the same string. Um, but besides that, all I can tell you is tune in. It's a lot of shit going on in my platform. Y'all know I done drop one flyer, one interview flyer. I gotta drop another one. I got a Europe artist coming in all the way from Europe. So y'all tap in for that. What else do I fuck? I got come up. Tap in every Wednesday. I did drop a screaming schedule. I was actually what's the day? Thursday. I was actually supposed to be on Twitch doing an exclusive reacting to like police chases and shit like that, and just random variety shit that was exclusively for Twitch. I was supposed to be doing that. Um, Probably not gonna do that tonight, but I was supposed to be doing it. But other than that,
My
man,
bad, man. I ain't mean to
oh no,
hold
you
your
good.
time up, man.
That's some
You know what I
random
mean?
shit. I'm still on Twitch right now. I'm still getting paid. So that
I
was
feel
just
that.
exclusively for Twitch. But other than that, catch me in my TikTok shop on TikTok. Go on my TikTok shop, look at my showcase. You might see some items you want for good ass price, man. Go support. I make a little commission off it, of course. But go in there and see. You got to use if you go in my shop, you'll get it for a better price than getting it from buying it from the actual TikTok shop. So you go to my showcase and my profile and get it, you'll come out cheaper. Um, what else, man? More shit to come, more shit to come. Everywhere. I'm everywhere, but still at the moment, um, I got a heavy schedule coming for the end of this year. I don't want to say too much. Let's just say we just get started. There is definitely more interviews coming. I think I got some people I gotta lock in as well. But anyhow, you chopping it up with Hawklyfe, chop, chop it up. Yeah, I know the rest.